have other games we could play. That's why
I'm
I'm here.
working
Alright.
my way through Stardew,
So
and I just picked up Mario Maker, so
The second one just dropped, didn't it?
we're live, guys.
that's what I was playing.
Nice.
Hello,
Hello,
Internet.
Internet.
Hello, Internet.
Hi.
Drink water.
Yes, stay hydrated.
All
That's
right.
very important right now.
Well, I wanted to say thank you to everybody for coming back to the table. I realized, like, during the week when we're not playing, that I definitely really enjoy this, and I look forward to Monday nights. So I'm really excited that we're all back at the table, and that we keep coming up and showing up on Monday nights. I think it's really cool. So I want to
Me
thank you guys
too.
for being cool players.
Thank you for being a good DM that puts us in very interesting situations.
Yeah.
And tolerating
Even
all of
involves
our
losing an eye.
bullshit.
I gave up that eye. I didn't lose it.
That's true. Yeah, you did not lose an eye. You traded it.
One of these
Right.
days, you're gonna
A
offer me
magical
a
magic eye.
you're gonna offer me a cursed item. I'm just gonna not hesitate to take it, and it's
You
gonna
didn't hesitate.
me.
You never hesitate to take anything. Anyways, I want to know. There was a lot of information that came out at the end, like the second half, maybe, of our session, and I know that our paladin, Pubert, had to dip out for a minute, so he missed a lot of that information. I think we stopped kind of like right before the dinner feast, if I remember it correctly.
Yep.
I didn't get all the way through rewatching because setting up took a lot longer this time than it has in a while. So it was like I think right before dinner. But if anyone would like to try and give us a recap, maybe like the stuff you found out coming back to Phandalin, or I suppose also on the way back to Phandalin would be good.
Well, we found
I found out that we've been gone for 2.5 years. My mother was very, very worried. That is the extent of what I have learned, I think.
Phandalin has become kind of a pretty popular go-through for miners and adventurers, so everybody is growing fat with wealth. The city is a lot more built up than it was before. The farm is gone. The orchard is gone. It's been replaced with like a hotel almost, like lodging for travelers.
Hostel?
Yeah.
Yeah, temporary housing. The orchard was all the apple trees were cut down for their wood, and the land used for some temporary housing. Darren Edermath is now a bit more wealthy than he was before you guys left.
We found out about the dragon and the dragon cult. They're called the Keepers of the Horde. We don't know what's up with them, but the Lord's Alliance and the nobility isn't taking any steps to remove them. So we got to find out what the hell's happening with that.
They wanted us to go deal with it.
That was their answer.
They thought we were dead. They weren't taking any action beforehand, so we need to figure out why they weren't.
I think we needed to go to Neverwinter
Actually,
to figure out what was going on.
it's in where is it? Thunder
Tree.
Yeah, but Thunder Tree is very close to Neverwinter, and I think we found out about a whole bunch of like basically kind of like political stuff.
Yeah.
As to like why they weren't doing anything about it, and we needed to. I guess all things were kind of pointing towards like going there to figure out what the deal was with the whole situation. Also, I became a Harper, which is like
you join. And I actually have you guys on the party sheet, and on there that symbol, that patch you have, is of the Harper's crest, and that is the moon and the harp.
That's dope.
We have in-game characters have known the symbol of the Lord's Alliance, this crown on red and gold, and it would be similar to what Bear wears on his armor. And then also one of your party members found out about the symbol for the Zentrim, so I put up one of their banners here.
So I guess during the recap, I'll fill you in on what I talked to the. I can never remember her damn name.
You can't remember your own girlfriend's name.
She's not my girlfriend. We just,
Oh,
we
that
j-
was funny.
it was just a dinner. But
Halia Thornton.
Halia?
Yeah, she had you pay for your welcome back to life dinner. It was yeah.
So we went to dinner and we talked a little bit, and basically she told me about the dragon cult, and she told me about the Zentharim. There's the Zentharim. They're basically like an underground group. It's like the family you choose, basically. They look out for each other. They're trying to gain power to make the world better, but they're going to get paid for it. So I asked her if I could share all this with my party members because you guys are like family to me. She said, yeah. So this is the symbol to look out for. If you have any questions for them or you want to identify yourself, you say Zentrim or family. We watch out for it and it watches out for us. And that's kind of like the identifying code. She wants us to check out Gundren because he's been acting extremely odd. He basically set out on this quest to find glory for his family and to find this mine and make himself rich and make his family rich, but he's kind of cut them out of everything, and he's not bringing anything to her from the mine for money. He's bringing small trinkets and pieces of gold that you could find anywhere. So he's hiding something, and she's worried about him because I guess they have a previous relationship. They've known each other for a long time, and we may have a undercover Zentrum in the dragon cult. So if we can get in there, find out who he is, she is, and get the information back to her, one, we'll get paid, and two, we'll have more information about this dragon. So those are the main things we talked about, and they kind of align with what we were gonna do anyways. So that's what I've got on my sheet.
So apparently, all of my notes did not save, but I do remember. Yeah, but I do remember that I had talked to Darren and gave him the information about what we had been doing and had been gone for a long time. He invited me into the Harpers, and he said that basically that we should go to Neverwinter, and there was a contact that he wanted me to look for at like a bar or something, or like an inn, but I don't remember what that was because all of my notes are gone.
Yeah, you had talked to him asking about any other agents because he talked about how the agents of the Harpers are kind of just like solo cell members typically, and they kind of share information. But you asked if there was anyone in Neverwinter that you might be able to go to ask about, and it was Aldar at the Rumored Hearth in Neverwinter. So that was an inn in Neverwinter. So there was information there. You talked to him. He kind of shared. Let's see. He shared a bit about the fact that that anyone, they really hadn't gotten much information, though they did they were able to confirm the dragon and the cultists, and the dragon's been seen flying over the woods, and reports come over from the Triboard Trail and the High Road. But what the Harpers knew that not a lot of other people knew was that they had seen the red-robed necromancer, and they had actually had his name from other interactions. So they're able to tell you about Hammond Coast, Hammond Coast.
Yeah.
So they had seen and confirmed that he had been at Thunder Tree, the ruins of old Thunder Tree.
I also feel like there was mention of Glassstaff.
No, they hadn't seen him. The Harpers. He's pretty much gone off the face.
It's kind of impossible for them to have seen a guy with a glass staff at this point.
That would be
'Cause I have the
Taliesin.
staff.
I mean,
Right.
he
Yeah.
could have totally had another staff commissioned, but
I just mean
last
that-
we
but that's what he-
knew,
That's what he goes by, though. So
Yeah, was the
And
name he was going by.
I mean,
I thought somebody mentioned that he was like seen or still around somewhere.
that might have
but-
changed.
no, I think it was
think so.
there's a bounty on his head again because no one has seen or heard high wind of him since the whole crap went down.
He's probably in Thunder Tree. That's
Oh
where
yeah, no, yeah.
that's
You
where
guys-
the
that-
map had marked. It had,
Okay, I remember. That was talking to Sildar.
Ah.
So you guys
Yes.
talked to Sildar. For a reminder, he's the representative of the Lord's Alliance in Phandalin. He was initially commissioned and came from Neverwinter with you guys to come down to help transport Gundren. And he's also the person who gave the recommendation to bring Pubert and thus his brother on this adventure. And Sildar also wrote that letter saying about Pubert's accomplishments to give to him to go to Waterdeep. From him, you learned that there is still the bounty on Glassstaff. No one's seen him or heard from him, but they know now that because of you, because of Sparkle Motion, they know that he was behind the gang, the Red Brands in Phandalin. But he hasn't been seen since. But there is still a bounty on his head for betrayal of the Lord's Alliance. The bounty is bigger for him being captured alive. But no one's seen or heard from him since you guys chased him out of town. Or I suppose since you guys chased him out of town and then chased him out of Cragmaw Castle.
well, to be fair, we were trying to kill him.
There was
It makes sense.
That would be put a damper
And I
on
don't-
somebody wanting to stick around.
If he didn't have Misty Step, he would have been dead.
There was also that map that we picked up from the doppelganger that we didn't know where that led to. I
This
don't know if
Thunder Tree was marked.
Oh,
It's the
that's what-
same
okay.
place 3 times.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, everything seems to be happening in Thunder Tree, which is why we should go do other stuff first, so we're strong enough to not die.
It's hilarious. Also talking to Sildar, you found out the information from the Lord's Alliance. So, Sildar's frustrated that there have been the stories about this dragon, but the Lord's Alliance hadn't made any moves. But it seemed like the Lord of Neverwinter is specifically not taking any action about it, which, is frustrating from the soldiers' point of view. They see the bad guy and they want to go do something about it, but they're not getting any orders to do it. And that was part of the political stuff that Taliesin mentioned, and that there's something going on there that is impeding them from going on. But Sildar's been doing his job about protecting Phandalin.
I also forgot to tell you guys when I was talking to Halia, I brought up my eye, and that started a conversation about magical items. There have been a lot more coming through town, and since we do now have ties to the Zentarim, that opens up the possibility of possibly purchasing magical items. So we have to make sure to check in with her and see what she has in stock or has access to whenever we come back.
We haven't left yet, right?
No.
No.
Before we
I think
leave,
it's like right before dinner party.
I wanted to talk to Sister Gariel, the priestess again, because she's my favorite. I need to ask her about what they want Bo Gentle's spell book for.
Okay. All right. So collectively, I think you guys, I think I just brought you back over to the Phandalin map. You guys have been to Tresendar Manor, which is where the Lord's Alliance have been setting up. You guys have been over to the orchard, where you notice that all the trees are gone, and there's been a bunch of kind of somewhat temporary housing created in the outskirts of town. You've seen the walls around there. You've been to the town master's hall briefly, and walked in and saw the clerk, said goodbye. Didn't talk to the mayor. And you've been to the miners' exchange, where you guys have had that conversation, where didn't really have much of a conversation with Halia, and then she sort of rolled that back up at the Stonehill Inn, where Jerk had a fancy dinner with her. And by fancy, I mean the best that Phandalin can offer. It is still a small town.
Yeah, so my agenda is to talk to Sister Gariel before the party starts, and then go party because the boys are back in town.
All right. Taliesin and Jerk, go ahead and refresh your character sheets. You have your inspiration gift. Thank you for recounting the story.
Actually, there was something last week that we did. You gave us all inspiration for, but it was at the very end of the session.
Boy, I don't remember that. Does anyone remember that?
I remember that
It was
happening.
from the Heroes Feast thing. You said once again we would have the benefits of Hero Feast due to the cooking of
And the
Mama
actual
Fireball.
effects are a little weird.
Heroes Feast is different from Inspiration. So those effects are different.
Maybe
We will
I was
talk
wrong.
about that while we have that meal as we're. I'm assuming sounds like in general everybody's gathering at the old Piter Bottom home.
Yes.
What happened?
I know Jerk went after his dinner to the Luck Shrine, tossed in a bunch of money. That was kind of funny.
I lost my
And-
map.
You lost your map.
Yeah.
Did you put it? What do you mean?
Roll 20.
Oh, are you guys not showing up on the?
I see the town.
I had to refresh.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? No, I'm looking at it. Don't tell me it went away. All those marks and lines and everything, those all custom shit. But okay. Yeah, so I guess from there, we'll kind of, I mean, does nobody remember what happened with it? If we can't remember, I saw that everybody had inspiration, but I always kind of take that away at the beginning of the next session.
I don't remember why you gave it to us, but I do remember you gave us all inspiration for something. And I was like, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, we're not going to do anything with this tonight, so maybe this will carry over. I don't remember what it was for, though.
Well, I didn't get to that in the
was it
session.
for
either.
our creative way of moving across? No. It would
Oh.
have been the session before that for
Yeah.
the creativity of the
The cart again.
Y-
Or not
the
the cart,
makeshift sled thing.
Sled. It's pretty funny.
Door sled.
Surprised you guys didn't try and find more buffalo. I was thinking about that later. Like you had found buffalo in the past and had them dragging the boat. But this time you're like, nah. But, well, so Taliesin and Jerk, I gave you guys inspiration for recounting the story.
Perfect.
The story here. As we find ourselves approaching dinner time, despite those who have eaten already, you guys arrive kind of collected at the old Piter Bottom home. You find Pubert and Godwald there, kind of waiting as the rest of you meet up, and they inform you that actually Mama Piter Bottom, went over to the Stonehill Inn in order to finish dinner. Apparently, there were a lot of people who were interested in having this dinner with you guys too. So the party has been moved to the Stonehill Inn.
Ooh, that means we can talk to our new adventurer friends
Neat.
too and try to convince them to do things with us.
Make it a big old party.
Yeah, but so sorry to speak for you, Hubert and Godwald.
Did oh no, I was gonna do that myself. Never mind.
Oh my gosh, do you guys remember the Stonehill Inn? I'm gonna drag this.
Are there still
the
corpses
way
all
over
over
here.
the place? Oh no,
No, that's-
that was the
that
No,
was
bar.
the
that was
sleeping
the
giant.
sleeping giant. Yeah.
Is this the place I learned how to make
Yeah.
spiced bread in Azeroth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where we accused some lady of being a racist.
Yeah, a goblin
Yeah,
Did
racist.
that.
Trilena, I believe, who it would be. So the owner of the Stonehill Inn is Toblin. That's why he's down to the lower left there.
Oh, I remember this place from that one time I had free RuneScape membership.
Right. I love this picture. It's so absurd. But actually, there are several more tables here now, and the place is packed. But the main table in the center of the room has been left open for you guys as you enter the Stonehill Inn. You recognize everyone from the town that you've seen before. So I mean, all the old faces. Let's see if I can bring it over to that too. Everybody's here. Herida Roshi has come down from the mountains. There's the wife and her daughter Mirna Dendar, and her daughter and son who you'd rescued are there. Krista, the owner of the Sleeping Giant Tap Room, has closed down and brought her ale over to the Stonehill Inn for the evening, and she's
Nice.
working the bar there. Leanne Greywind from the Lion Shield Coster, the weapon sales in the area is there. Harbin Wester, the mayor, Harbin Wester, sorry, the mayor, that kid Carp who just fucking loves that you guys are adventurers, and his mom, Kayleen Alderley for there. Both, I gotta find a picture from Mama Bottom and Sister Gariel are there. Elmar Barthen, the guy who owns the shopkeep, is there. Obviously, Toblin, as he owns Stonehill. Sildar has arrived. Gundren is missing. He does but Darren's there as well. Everyone that you've known in the town, they're all there, looking forward to celebrating your guys' return. They have told tales about the adventurers who came and rescued them from the Red Brands and chasing the traitorous wizard out of town.
As
How
a
you
horse.
guys, right? How you guys have,
The majestic steed.
wiped out the goblin threat in the area so much so that they've never really had to be concerned with this after you guys were here and disappeared. All of the rumors that went around for so long that you guys were dead now being proven wrong, that you are alive and well, and everyone shouts and cheers as you enter. The meal has been cooked up hardcore by Mama Bottom, but also with some help from the staff at the Sleeping Giant, which would be like Toblin and his wife, and I believe there's a couple other people who work there. Trilena is the wife, and yeah, and it is an incredible feast laid before you. You guys have been eating like some dried meat and other dried like foods like granola bar kind of thing for a while. You had that turkey for a little bit, but this is well above and beyond what you're used to consuming. And this is the hero's feast. You'll have this effect for the next 24 hours, and it is about after sunset. You are cured of all diseases and poison. You become immune to poison and being frightened. All wisdom saving throws are with advantage. your hit point maximum is increased by 2d10. So you guys all have some bonus. You guys all have 10 bonus HP for the next 24 hours. So until 7 o'clock the next day. And yeah,
You said
yeah.
10?
So
Yes.
no, it was 11.
11? Okay.
Did I say 10 or 11?
You
You
said,
said 10.
I
you
rolled-
said
I rolled-
10.
I rolled one die twice. So
Oh, you
Okay.
said 10, yeah.
Perfect.
10 bonus HP on you guys for the next 24 hours. But you're here, and everyone is here, and they're all super excited to see you. And like, Kayleen, like Carp's mom, that comes up to you, and she's like, "I never got to meet you guys before you left." She's like, "My son talks about you and that monster that you found at in the manor, all those years ago, all the time. Like he's never gonna stay here, and he's definitely gonna leave Phandalin to become an adventurer now. He loves you guys so much." And then she kind of like her son's gonna leave town to become an adventurer because of you.
Oh no, we killed that poor boy.
Ooh,
Oh, he'll be okay.
But pretty much everybody comes up to you. You're not paying for anything. You're getting handed drinks from people. Sildar is so excited to see you back, from all those years. Bear especially, knowing that he feels like he made the right decision about it. Elmar comes over to Jerk. He's the guy who owns the supplies shop, and he is just, you're one of his favorite people when you came to town. He never cared about your red skin, and he's totally into you. He is, so stoked that you're back and wondering, what gear you're gonna need on your next adventure that he could sell you. Starts bragging about all of the money he's been making ever since you guys cleared out the bandits and helped find the mine. That seems to be like a kind of thread about things, about how well everyone is doing because of all of the things that you guys have done in the area. Generally, no one else is concerned about a dragon being seen over the woods, or I all feel like everything's going great with the mine because all these miners are coming to town. Yeah, but you guys have a raucous party. So people try and get out some instruments and play music. They're not so great.
I will do the same
trying.
thing. I'm going to try to play my tiny violin.
Let's roll some die.
How tiny is the violin?
Oh, it's tiny.
It has never been seen.
If Shirk fails horribly, I'm going to play the pipes of wailing, so everybody just runs out of the building.
What?
Please designate us as not affected by that again.
What do I add to that?
I could choose
Performance.
if my party's not affected
Performance
by
check?
it or
I
not.
don't-
I said
can't
please.
all of you.
I've got a
Oh,
plus
okay.
Does it,
a +2, so it's 15.
are you proficient in it?
No.
Well, then you're not adding any of that bonus to that. So it is a 13. You're not proficient in this instrument, but it doesn't sound as bad as you thought it might. Actually, you kind of join in with some of the other townspeople, and you can tell that they are all also self-taught.
Yay! I'm not
Or
the
drunk.
only one.
Right? So the music's kind of awkward, but everybody's still having a good time.
And plus my
So anyone
violin is
else?
it's like this big, so
I want to, while everyone's just having a good time, I want to do an insight check. I want to
be back in
see
one
if I
second.
can pick up on I'm concerned as to why no one seems to really care about this fact that there's a dragon, not very far away.
Well, that dragon's been there for a while, hasn't it? That was actually why we were kind of angry.
What you guys knew about it before, I'm going to call the before time, or before...
We knew about the dragon
before teleportation.
cultist,
Right.
but we didn't hear that the dragon was confirmed until we came back. So, and the fact that, based off of everything that Sildar has said to us about how no one has done anything about it, I'm just wondering why no one seems concerned about it.
All right, so, I mean, just kind of in general, I think it's more like investigation. You're trying to talk to the townspeople and see what they know and see why they don't feel so threatened by it.
Uh,
Is it the harvest dragon and he just spits out green corn?
well, so the reason I guess I was saying insight is because I'm trying to decide on whether or not, like, I want to go around and talk to people, but I want to decide on whether or not I feel like they're telling me the truth or not.
I
Okay.
don't think many people feel the need to lie to us in Phandalin. Like, as
Right. In general, the town loves you.
Sure.
I mean, it's actually quite clear from this evening's event, as you guys have been missing for 3 years. You only really were in Phandalin for a week or a few weeks, but you made a huge impact on them, and they're all really excited to see you back. As you would kind of ask around, and that would be what I would have you roll the investigation check for. See like
Okay.
what you might find out about it, and then like what you might believe about those answers on your insight check, and like how truthful it feels for people they're being.
Right. That's a 10.
Yeah. So I mean, wait, with your insight's like a plus. Oh, that's your
Well,
investigation. All right. So you're-
Investigation, yeah.
yeah. So what you basically are, kind of ask around like, oh, I've heard about this dragon. People are generally, feel well protected by the Lord's Alliance. Members of the Lord's Alliance like Hubert have, helped take care of and protect the village. They have several knights of the Lord's Alliance here in Phandalin. They feel like they're generally far enough away from the Neverwinter Wood that they don't feel like it's a thing, but more so that people like you are going to protect them.
That's where they're wrong. I'm just
that's
kidding.
when we start charging them a monthly fee.
Okay.
Sparkle Motion subscription fee.
Exactly.
In the past, the Phandalin had not come under the protection of Lord's Alliance, as there was no it wasn't enough for them to have a lord or a member. They really kind of fell under the governing of Neverwinter. But because they're such a small town, they really govern themselves. So they really weren't involved in that. But now that they have knights walking their streets, they feel much safer.
Okay. I was trying to see if maybe there was anything that I could. Well, yeah.
I mean, they're all telling the truth. Whatever insight check you would roll, they're all being honest with you. They love you guys. You could talk to different people and
Sparkle Motion's legit.
pretty much kind of find the same thing. Yeah, the people of Phandalin love you guys. And again, as it is very apparent from all of the alcohol they're offering you, the food, how delicious and incredible everything is, and what a great time that they're all having as they celebrate your what they believe to be unlikely return.
All right, sweet.
Yeah. So, if there's anything else, anyone else in town, anyone wanted to talk to you, you're at the perfect opportunity. Otherwise, song, dance.
Sister Gariel, I want to ask her about the Bojentles book, what might be in it, and why it's important.
I thought we already did the Bojentles thing.
No, we learned about it.
He expressed an intent, but
No, because the thing with Bojentles is we were supposed to go to the Banshee and discuss with her where the Bojentle book would have been located.
Yeah, but we don't know what's in it or why it's of interest.
Yeah, we learned where it was, but from the Banshee, but we never went there.
Okay. The last time the only
So
mission
what-
we had for that was to locate it, not get it.
It's true. But basically, what Sister Gariel tells you, as you're hey, we found out that information, what was in that spell book that was so intriguing that you guys wanted to know about it. She basically just shares that she's a member of the Emerald Enclave. Well, she's Harper's? She's a Harper. or was doing work for them. Shit. Well, the group that she was looking for, as I look it up really fast because I can't remember, wanted to know the location of it. They talked about it, holding many powerful spells, and they essentially the group didn't have much of any way to find out about it, other than through magical means. So they're looking to gain the power uh, of that spell book, and then they had an idea that from the history of Bowgentle and Agatha, that her wandering siren spirit would have this knowledge. So she doesn't know what it is, but she could find out if she could find out for you. If there's more, she'll definitely inquire on your behalf.
That would be fantastic. So our new friends Ariana, Clarendon, Sturm, and Salem here?
From what I understand, they kind of just threw us out into Fandolin and kept up moseying amongst their way.
I'm not sure if you listened last session.
I was half awake looking at my eyeballs most of last session.
Yeah, they're staying at the inn.
What's that?
They were staying at the inn.
Okay.
But she was doing the quest as a member of the Harpers. So she and Darren probably know a little bit about each other and some of those items.
All right. Well, also while we're here, I'm gonna look around for Zentrum just to see.
The inn is packed. You're keeping an eye out for their symbol or something. Roll me a perception check to see if you can notice this. And what are you looking for, too? on top
I'm
of that?
just looking for the symbol. And that is a 15, 16, 16.
As you're enjoying the raucous behavior of everyone in town, you do see what might be the top of a tattoo that shares that worm diving at its wings flying behind it on a person.
Anybody I would recognize or no?
No one that you would recognize, but he is in the bar. He's wearing a hide overcoat, so it's like the coat made from fur. Same with his hat, actually. It comes with like a pointed tip, which would otherwise be like a fur cowboy hat. Everybody, all the random adventurers that you actually do see, like random people. Some of them have like weapons and equipment. Other of them have like maybe they're like mining gear or something that they didn't want to like leave behind in the at the inn or in the temporary housing. But he has with him a bow and a set of arrows slung over the back of his chair. He's wearing a pretty tan skin and a long black mustache. It comes with a long black goatee from his soul patch.
So he looks like the Mandarin.
A little bit.
All right. Oh, is he?
Looks like-
Is he's at the bar?
Looks like
is
this.
Is he drinking?
Yeah, he's in there.
Okay.
He's drinking.
Well,
A couple other minor things.
I sidle up next to him and I just I hold my beer up to cheer, and I tell him we watch out for it and it watches out for us.
His eyes kind of give a reaction. It's like, and he kind of smiles at you and clanks his beer up to yours. He goes, "Cheers!" and takes a big swig and
I do the same,
like smile.
and then I look around to see if did Halia come back?
Uh, yeah, Haley is there celebrating the town. It's like one of the bigger events that have happened in town. She wouldn't miss it.
All right, I'm gonna go try to dance with her to the
Go try and dance with her
horrible townspeople music.
to the bad music. If only there was someone who could play an instrument.
She's not here right now.
She's not here at the camp.
You know
Wait, she's
what's
literally not here.
what's really funny is when I said she's not here right now, you're next to her, so you looked over to see if her if her chair was empty. right.
Well,
So should I roll for dancing? Is that a thing?
you should roll to see if she will dance with you. Persuasion.
Oh.
Lady, may I have this dance?
15.
15. She's like, why, fine sir adventurer, of course I'll dance with you.
Yay!
And she does. She does dance, although you notice that she leads.
That's fine. I am her employee after all.
And she is, let's see how good she is at this. It's her own performance check. She's a very fine dancer. This is why she's leading, is because she just senses that you're not sure what to do. And she's just kind of taking your hand and moving you around the floor. And everybody, uncharacteristically, you're used to people seeing you coming with like strange staring looks or maybe like jeered and whispered comments, but not in this scene, not in this town. They know you. They love you. They cheer you on. People clapping and dancing to the quite not great music. I do wish she was here to like tell us, like, because I know she wants to like perform and try and get something for free. That's what she does every time one of these things happens. So I'm sad to just miss her for this moment.
Well, if Mama Piter Bottom's free, I want to dance with her too. She's
Okay,
the best.
so
Have at it. Fine. Whatever. I don't care. She's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions.
Mama Potter Bottom has been in the kitchen, but you could go back to the kitchen and ask her if she'd like to dance.
I want to do that.
Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
I'm gonna dance with everybody. I'm gonna dance with Pubert next.
Get a party going.
Aw. That's only a 13.
You actually find that she's like, I'm so busy. Just like, boys, enjoy the food that I'm making for you, so that you can grow up to be big and strong.
You gotta put some meat on those bones. You're so skinny. You've been gone for so long. My goodness. You might be alive now, but you'll be dead in a week if you don't eat something.
You don't eat some of the food I'm making you. Don't drink too much. You'll feel bad in the morning.
Can I see?
You're not able to convince her to dance.
Can I see if I can get Myrna to dance with me?
The widow? Yeah, I mean she's been a widow for 3 years. Go for it.
Wait, why
Oh,
is
yeah.
everyone trying to get girls to dance with them? all
She's-
the
she's
time?
a-
Why not?
Because it's a party. Everybody's celebrating
It's a party.
the return of Sparkle Motion.
Yeah, don't you
What
want to
is that?
perform?
Long thought dead. You guys have
I mean-
basically come across to the point where you're almost kind of a legend as this group of adventurers who appeared in town, took care of all of their problems, and then disappeared.
Can I wait? Have an idea.
It's a like persuasion roll. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes, no, I have an idea though.
I'm concerned.
Right? So am I.
See if I can find pictures of the other kids.
What's the spell that I can use that is just like not it I used it on the Banshee to like help my persuasion. It was like, and I just like made flowers bloom. What was that called?
You grew the flowers with something.
Oh, that you gave that up when you leveled for Primal Savagery.
Yeah.
Druidcraft. It's a cantrip. So
Yeah.
can I say for flavor, can I cast can I cast that? Just, I mean, you don't have to give me advantage. Or just say for flavor, it'd be cool to make flowers bloom around her and stuff, and be like, care to dance.
Maybe we don't know
Alright.
everything the staff of the Python can do.
I would say with your Druidcraft, is that a spell slot?
It's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna use magic to magically grow flowers around a lady, whom you have in the past rescued from certain doom.
Yeah, I'm just
and
trying to
destruction.
flatter her.
And you're like, would you like to dance?
That's not weird at
Yeah.
all.
I mean, yeah, using magic in order to create that additional situation. I think that would be fair to call advantage roll on your persuasion to see if she'll simply dance with you. That all sounds fair.
Sweet. There we go. 17. I don't have any
Yeah,
bonus to that.
She's kind of flattered, a little flustered that a bunch of magical flowers just kind of grew up around her, but she's definitely smiling and accepts your dance.
Hell yeah.
And then you guys get to dance around. You want to roll performance, see how well you do? I'll tell you how well
Ah.
Myrna does.
Dang it. Okay.
We're all gonna find out if we're good dancers or mediocre dancers, or we're
Shit.
okay at it.
Yeah, that's a 7.
She's a better dancer than you.
Well,
But that's all right. That's
So
all right. It's
We're
still-
being
still working
led
out,
around the
still
room by
dancing.
the women.
I'm hoping, I
Yeah.
hope that I flattered her enough
fantastic.
to where she doesn't mind that I'm not very good at dancing.
Yeah, she does not seem to care. She's definitely kind of, let's say maybe she 7 compared to her 14. She maybe notices that you're not as good a dancer as her, but totally, still swooned by the flower gesture.
Sweet.
Definitely notices how of all the dancing, singing, instrument playing, feasting, and drinking that's been going on, you haven't cast a wreath of flowers around anyone else, so she still feels special. Not still, she feels special to that regard.
Well, then it worked out.
Well, since the boys are quiet and in the corner, I go grab them and I drag them out to the dance floor, and I start trying to dance with both of them too.
Fubert and Godwald.
Yeah,
I'd like to.
I'll try.
I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna sit at a bar or at the bar on top of it, drinking while you're all acting like a bunch of fools.
It's like, if I can see Jerk coming, I'd like to take
Yeah.
this opportunity to find Hirda and see how he's been doing.
All right,
Here it is.
before Jerk tries to come and get the Piter Bottoms, the whole family of Piter Bottoms to dance, what were you guys doing up to this point? Feasting and drinking.
I would have probably done what he said I was doing, just been off to the side, seeing everybody being happy, probably nursing the same beer for a while, trying all the foods though, because it's food from home.
Yeah,
Nothing beats food
yeah.
from home.
It's mom's cooking. It's just the way you like it. Hubert, what would you be up to?
I'd probably be, hog shank in hand or turkey leg in hand, meat in the other, kind of hobnobbing various people from home since, I was
Yeah.
home for about a week and then I disappeared for. Came
Yeah,
back.
right. You were gone. So you guys, as young men, were sent to Neverwinter to train in different things. Came back eventually for a week or two. Disappeared for another 3 years and then came back. Yeah, people in town know you, but maybe
yeah.
not as
Well,
yeah.
it's more of like a catching up with people I didn't get the chance to,
Yeah.
to see. I'm sure I would have had childhood friends or
Alright.
something that would have.
Would either of you oppose Jerk coming over and trying to convince you to dance?
I would try. I'm going to
Okay.
fail. Can I take 3?
All right. Can you take 3 what?
Oh, you know how you can take 10 in some games? It's an old rule.
Oh,
Oh, you can still take 10
What, your-
sometimes, but
you want to
instead
use your passive save?
I would say if you want a hard tell jerk, no, I'm not dancing. You go ahead. Not gonna make you dance. I mean, he could try to persuade you really, really hard, but it might be very difficult. If
no,
you're
I mean,
like, hey, maybe let's try it. I want to see opposing charisma rolls.
I'm gonna go
wanna
with
s-
it.
you
Like,
wanna
I'm
say
gonna
no?
try to dance.
Oh, you're gonna go in and all right, yeah.
I mean, as a player, I want. You know what? Screw it. Let's see how well I do.
Just as the is this
Yeah.
the opposing charisma? Yeah, you're intoxicated and Jerk being like, "Come on to dance, buddy!" As he's dancing with Halia and trying to get other people to dance. You're like, "I'm in," and you go up and do it for it.
I'm always the wingman.
Yeah.
Gotta be the wing.
Godwald, would you want to dance or reject the dancing idea?
Reject.
You reject? Will you hard reject or will you do competing charisma scores?
It take advantage of P-Bear being so eager to go away.
Oh, so you hard reject. The Jerk's like, "Come on and dance." Barry's like, "All right, I'm in. I didn't want to, but I want to now." And then Godwell looks at you and just no, he's not into it.
Now is
No.
Herda here too?
Oh yeah,
I
your muscle-bound wizard friend,
I feel like he would be doing something
shirtless
crazy.
as ever, flexing, just like oh, talking about his pecs and how incredible his muscles are, and that you all must be very impressed, and that he taught you all everything you know, and really babysat you on the last few adventures that you went on. And
He certainly taught us everything he knew.
yes, but he's there. You can try and get him to dance.
So
Yes.
prestidigitating dicks on everything is everything he knows.
I
I would say since he's here, can I cast minor illusion to make like an LED dick
like
on the
he-
side of his
like-
face?
I
like
feel
he taught us these things. What we learned is different.
What did you want to do, Sparkle Jim?
I said, can I get revenge and just like use minor illusion to cast the image of a dick on his face?
You
you're gonna-
So you're trying to cast on this person.
It has to
You're
be
gonna-
like glowing green or something, like something that
Right?
like a
It's just
fluorescent
a
green.
big old like fluorescent dick just right along the side of his face.
You're gonna do this to a wizard who you know gives no fucks about doing that back to you.
I mean, it's fine.
It's been a
It's
long
totally
time since
fine.
I've seen
Because
Heritage.
we have to see
Heritage
how
sheet,
long
but,
he could go.
Yeah, he's excited to see you guys, and he has the he senses the friendly gesture towards him, as he would always do to you, and you're doing back to him. Let me look at his actual character sheet and make sure I can. I want to tell you exactly what he does. So as you use your magics to cast a fluorescent green penis on his face, above his face, near his face, like
Kind of like just right around the edge, right here. Right above the like start at the head is on the forehead and it goes down along the cheek.
so okay, so like around his face.
Yep.
He comes back and he's like, "Right back at you, sister." And for the next, I think it's like 3 minutes. For the next 3 minutes, tiny explosive like firework dicks kind of start like flying off of your head and kind of popping, just like a series of fireworks go, and it just happens for like 3 minutes as a pyrotechnic display of penises appears
I
above
mean,
your head.
I'm
I
okay
would.
with this because that cantrip on his face lasts an hour.
Damn. I was gonna say I would say that in seeing this mid dance, Taliesin just fucking loses his shit and like can't keep dancing.
Would
Just
you like
hits
to
the
make a wisdom
ground.
save?
Like I apologize to Myrna, but I'm like doubled over.
Yes, I love it.
I just
Find the players.
as
Well, he's
she's
clearly fine.
as she's leading me around the room.
Just penises popping.
as she's leading me around the room while we're dancing, I just point at it to Halia too.
as Jerk switching dancing partners, getting everyone in town to get up from the table and start dancing there. Yeah, no, it also lasts for an hour. So yeah,
Oh,
for the
so
next
both
hour.
of us for an
Yeah.
hour have like
Yeah,
just dick involved objects.
Yeah.
Horribly great.
but he does come over too, and he's like, "Let these beautiful muscles buy you a drink, little gnome girl." It's continuing to flex, and multicolored penises popping off of your head and exploding in the air. He
Yeah.
appreciated your gesture so much that he buys you a drink.
Sweet free drink.
I'd help you, but I can't help you
Yeah.
at level 5.
Yep. All right, that's the fun thing that happens
Well,
there.
he's
for
clearly
sure.
fine.
He's exactly the
Um,
same.
I mean,
Right?
yeah. He, I guess he hasn't seen you guys since you came back, but he did understand the word of you come into town. Herod would probably tell you, he's glad to see you back. He knew you guys could handle yourselves. He's like, and he's going to upgrade you from the party of lesser embarrassment, from the party of embarrassment to the party of lesser embarrassment. So minor embarrassment. He upgrades you to the party of minor embarrassment.
That's
It
how
only
that
took
works.
it only took you 3 years to come back from one dungeon.
Speaking of, quickly, like as a party, should we tell Hera that we kind of failed a major part of that necromancer thing and allowed it all to happen?
Should we tell him? And if
I'm
we
still
should tell him, should we
dancing.
tell him now or later when he's less drunk?
Are you
I feel
guys
like
trying to
As
have
Herod,
Are you and Herda trying to have a serious conversation while there's dicks on your faces?
why the hell not?
Well,
I mean,
knowing
there's a
Herda,
dick on his face. There are just repeated multiple,
Right, it's like little
multicolored
firecrackers.
just popping off of her head. Pew, pew,
Yeah.
I kind of imagine it like a ground fountain being glued to the top of my head and just like Roman candles shaped like dicks popping out.
Yeah, but every time a little spark comes up to fly off, when it pops into the shape of a dick and then just
Okay.
sparkles and falls. It's very sparkly.
I'm completely okay with this.
I don't see how, but okay.
Because it's
Was it-
entertainment to me. But yeah, I'm just asking, like, out of character completely. As a party, do we want to do this with Herda, or do we just want to keep that hidden and go amongst our lives?
well, there have been reports of that that necromancer around, so I'm sure he's heard that we didn't kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
what if-
well, it's not the killing aspect. He also said that if the necromancer succeeded with what he was trying to do, some great evil would come into play.
Maybe.
So if
We
you guys,
activated the great evil. Do we want to tell him we activated the great evil, or do we just not want to mention anything?
Yeah, no, I'm not bringing it up.
I mean,
I
does
mean,
he-
what does
Does he
Sparkle
meet
Gem want to
Drew?
do?
I was gonna say, if you guys do talk to him, you basically find out that he knows what the Lord's Alliance does. So that's his source of information.
Oh, so he already knows everything. Okay, we good.
He knows that there was no trace of the necromancer when they went looking for you guys, just because the Lord's Alliance guys went out there looking for it. That was when he went to Waterdeep to reach out to another wizard there to get help finding you guys, and that was when the other wizard located you and sent you there. So he knows that you went off. He's glad to see that you're back. Does know that they didn't go missing, and essentially thinks that guy's still a danger. So if you do talk to him, he's like, I think you should take care of it.
Go murder him.
I don't know what you tell him up to that point, but that's what he knows if you're talking to him.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just sit there silently and keep drinking this wonderful drink that he bought me.
Yeah, bought you an ale. Grista, she's there, going through all the ale that she brought over. And it gets to be a little late. Yeah, you guys are all fairly stuffed, worn out from partying. You're not worn out, but like you're tired. You're tired from partying. You're ready to go and get to bed. The townspeople start, slowly exiting. The biggest celebration they've had in a long time. Filtering out of the bar. If there's anyone else who wants to talk to anyone else before you guys go to bed.
I want to. I've been dancing and hanging out with Myrna, so like as she's leaving, I want to like bow and like druid craft a flower and hand it to her, and then like wink.
This guy.
Someone's
This guy.
trying.
She's not as impressed the second time about the flower as she was the first time, but she just still does smile at you. Thank you for it.
Sweet.
As she grabs her 2 children and leaves.
Hey man, I could be a stepdad.
Oh my god,
It's
no!
hilarious.
Ron on so many
Sorry.
levels.
Sorry we didn't rescue your husband in time. Would you like to go out sometime?
Exactly.
I'm a half elf.
But now that he's out of the picture, like,
Ooh.
whoa.
It's like, I'm a
Okay,
half elf. I'll look like this when your children are eligible to date.
But
Yeah.
it has been 3 years, and you didn't see her there with another guy, so she generally accepted the
Sure, she still has needs.
your general dances.
She's not that old.
She is a lady. She's still pretty young compared to a lot of the other people you generally know.
Do you guys think we should try to keep Ariana, Sturm, Salem, and Clarendon involved in our adventure?
Oh man, I'd have to like try and find make
Like-
pictures of all of them. But they are all there. The 4 adventurers that you came to town with, that you met along the Triboard Trail, and then paid to give you passage to Phandalin are here.
Well, during
At
the
the
yeah.
end.
during the
They've all
party,
got
I
arms.
was leading them around and like introducing them to everybody and being like, they helped us get back, and they're pretty cool dudes and a lady.
So the Lord's Alliance have put out a big bounty on at least one of the people that we know are at Thunder Tree, right? Either
Yes.
the dragon or the necromancer or whichever it was.
Yeah, there's a big bounty for killing the dragon at Thunder Tree. And it was, did I say 100,000 gold?
Yes,
I
There's
believe that's what the Lord's Alliance is willing to
it was
pay
100,000.
pay for the dead dragon, and of course proof.
Because do we need new forms of transportation?
Yes.
Unless you guys are all trying to ride on my back, which I can't do.
Hmm.
I would say Taliesin at this point is like a little tipsy, and he's just like, "Come on, we could totally take this dragon, guys. Let's just go do it."
We gotta figure out a way to control a dragon because I want to ride him.
I mean, I'm pretty good at animal handling.
I can control monster
mean,
at level 9.
Although we also have to think, the last time we added a monster to the party, he kind of became an asshole.
Yeah, should we worry about that?
But here's the thing, though, as well. It's depending on what type of dragon it is. Doesn't
Looks at
necessarily
risk.
mean it's a violent dragon. There are many dragon species known to be calm and more than willing to work with humans.
He has a
Nope.
cult.
And don't okay. If are you saying if you, as a child growing up next to a dragon, you wouldn't worship the damn thing?
No.
Pretty good straight point.
What about it? Could be a luck dragon.
Right, or exactly, it could be a luck dragon.
Or a
So
harvest
like
dragon.
exactly, harvest dragons. So it
Alright.
really all depends on the species of dragons that could determine if maybe all we have to do is negotiate our way through this.
Well, to be completely honest with you, since I don't think we're ready to go there yet, because that is a dragon, and Waveko Cave, the mine where Gundren is probably at, is a lot closer. So
So you guys are. I'm gonna let you
Can we
guys
get the
kind of
big
have
map?
this conversation as the. Yeah, throw you out to the.
Thank you.
Your your section of the Sword Coast map. I'll bring you over to there. I'm gonna let you kind of talk about it. Basically, I'm gonna run to the restroom, but this is the evening's winding down. People are leaving the Stonehill Inn. You guys have some time to talk and discuss what your plans are. I'll be right back.
The whole time we're
mean-
talking, I'm just staring at the dicks popping off of your head.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
I'll
having
prob-
some trouble concentrating.
Yeah, how long is that gonna last?
An hour.
Just an hour of cock.
Yeah. So personally, I don't think we're ready to go to Thunder Tree.
well,
And
dragons don't really chill in cities.
Wave Echo Cave it's just a mountain away.
Only a mountain.
And there's a lot of people who were worried about Gundren and how he's been acting. Plus, it's
So
a
we can go
mine,
to-
so we can go in there and there's gonna be stuff there.
Wish we had the big map.
Let's go.
we do.
Also,
we do have a
okay,
big map. If
so
it's not
there's-
pulled up for you, refresh your page.
Oh, there it is.
Also,
That's-
taking that trip will give Halius some time to possibly procure magic items for us to take a look at when we come back, in preparation to go to
So-
Thunder Tree.
Well, we also heard that supposedly Wave Echo Cave itself is loaded with magical items.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily need to tell Gundren what we find in there.
Well, we gotta find Gundren and find out what the hell's going on with him. I'm assuming he's at the cave because no one really sees him anymore, including his family.
So, of the 3 places, that's the closest place. And we did promise Gundren. Of the people we have yet to see that we left behind when we went into the temple, he is probably the most important one left
Yeah.
that
Well,
we don't want to kill.
we did
Speak
say
for
3
yourself.
years ago, hey, be right back.
Like,
Give us.
So we should probably go there.
That's fair.
how?
All right, I'm back.
I mean,
Good
I'm
talk.
sure between all of us, we could get enough money gathered to get another cart and some more horses.
Or just,
If
like,
not, you all could be indebted to me.
or we send Jerk back to the Miners Exchange and have him make a different friend who's going back to the cave and could use some guards
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
because he keeps going there to make the same friend.
All right. Well, yeah, that's not a bad idea for the morning after we all shake off the hangovers.
What did I miss?
Right? Still during the middle of the night, Sparkle Gentry is going to just look at Pew Bear and be like, "Where's my hair?"
Somebody's breathing into their mic, by the way.
Would you like to claim that you burned all of that you had?
Did that fix it?
No, we
Mother
already
Mary?
discussed
Yeah.
that. He has to get me a lock of your mother's hair to replace the hair that he burned.
What?
I look at her and I just say, "Hey, can you turn those dicks off? I'm trying to sleep."
An hour has gone by. You guys do notice that Herda stays at the bar and is continuing to become increasingly intoxicated, and the number of explosive firework penises appearing above people's heads is starting to
Increasing.
increase the more drinks that he has. He has done it over to one of the children in town before the kid started crying and his mama, and they kind of turned it off real quick. But then just sort of pointed it, then just started doing it to like random adventurers. So that guy
if
you
it,
saw
if
earlier.
it becomes a serious
during
issue,
Nova.
I'm willing to spend a spell slot.
The
I
guy
was
you saw earlier at the bar, Jerk, dressed in all the fur stuff, now has exploding penises above his head, but he is pretty red faced and intoxicated. Doesn't really seem to notice.
What to do when
the
Herda
moment.
got drunk as a boy? Leave.
Not a bad idea.
Like, just
Uh.
go.
You know, I should just leave now.
Just kind of.
All right.
I'm trying to think of what where I would stay.
I mean, Mama Pie Bottom opens the house up to anyone. You'll just have to throw your bedrolls down. The inn actually is full at this moment. The party that you guys came with earlier have taken all of the rooms between themselves, so that's kind of out of the question.
Guess it's
If
the
you talk
Piter
to-
Bottoms.
I was gonna say, if you talk to Darren, there might be a teepee or temporary kind of tent cabin that you guys could stay at or sleep in if you wanted.
I just assumed I was going to find a random box to go crawl in.
I mean, you might be able to hide somewhere.
Did you lose your nondescript box?
Yes, I traded it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I traded that away so I could get more magical items for like facing evil things, and yeah.
You've got a
But
dragon
have
in
to
a
say-
bottle.
I have to say the crate of object impermanence is probably like the greatest place to hide your stuff that you ever would have had.
Probably.
Just throwing it out there. It's
Yeah,
gone
but-
now.
It hit
Yeah,
me as a human,
like,
and I cried
can't-
when I
but,
traded that away.
Point of order. You can't hide anything in the box because it's only invisible when it's upside down.
You can
What?
put things. You can put things.
You
like,
can
you
put
can put the
things
box
that's
over
like
things.
on the ground and then put the box on top of it.
Okay, you can hide things under the box.
Yes, but you weren't able to hide things like so technically in the box, but not like in
It's
the
not
box
really
in the
working
sense of
as
like
a box,
here, boop.
But then we wouldn't really be able to
More
find
like a
the box
shroud.
ourselves either.
Right? Exactly. Like
Except for the person who was attuned to it. But it's all right. It's gone. It's gone from your lives. You'll never be able to hide stuff quite the same way
whatever.
ever
All I'll
again.
have to do is summon what was his name? Larry again?
Larry.
The merchant who sold it to us.
Oh, we can't summon him. We have no idea where the hell he went to.
Would we even remember?
No, we know he was heading to Neverwinter.
Lonnie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go,
Lonnie-
Lonnie.
Lonnie was traveling on the Tribord Trail, and he was on his way to Neverwinter.
All right. Well, would it be disrespectful if I took my bedroll and just kind of went to the shrine of Timora, slept there, just trying to be in her presence?
I mean, so
I find that a little weird that you're just sleeping outside of my house.
well, I would say. So here's.
I mean,
so
also
rather
like-
than laying your bedroll out, we could say you drunkenly passed out in front of it.
So like.
It's
You
also
can-
like winter.
Oh,
Yes,
that's right. It's
like,
winter. I'll
it's
sleep inside.
winter,
I'm sleeping inside.
That's what I was gonna
Like,
throw out there. Yeah.
we'll put you by in the room closest to the shrine. It has a bed. You're welcome in.
I mean, but yeah, if you want to pass out on the Luck Shrine, you can go ahead and do it.
No, I'd rather sleep inside.
Don't let me stop you. Just
Yeah,
letting you know.
you do you. Okay, well,
Towson's
so
gonna go to bed. So
okay, it sounds like everybody has found a place to sleep for the most part. I mean, the floor of the Piter Bottom home is open. Sister Gariel stays at the Piter Bottom home. I think I've made that apparent before because the Luck Shrine that she kind of pieced together out of the stones there in the center of town is outside their house. That's where she stays. And Mama Piter Bottom had also. This is way old information. Mama Piter Bottom had joined as an alkali of the Timora, so she was kind of also taking part of that responsibility on as well, or I suppose as like a I don't even know how to say it trainee. She was interested in it. Okay, so yeah, you guys all either find places to, section yourselves off in the Piter Bottom home, or speak to Darren in order to uh, find any of the temporary housing that's available. Be able to wake up in the morning, and after a good night's rest, and you find yourselves in Phandalin, or right after, not too long after sunup in the winter. If it goes down at 7, then it's probably not coming up until 8. So 8 a.m. You guys are up.
All right.
Sun's up.
So I think we discussed going to the miners' exchange and trying to convince somebody that they need bodyguards to go to Wave Echo Cave. That way we get paid and we get transportation.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that discussion was when you were away, and that was the best idea that was proposed. I'm not saying that because it was mine. I'm
No,
kind of saying it was mine.
I like that idea. Anybody opposed?
No, I'm.
Nope.
All
I
right.
like that idea. Too.
So
I don't wanna walk.
I'll head up to the miners' exchange and see if anybody's looking for a ride. And
Okay.
I
Our
tell
bodyguards, you mean?
yeah, or looking for bodyguards.
For some protection.
And I'll let Halia in on it too. See if maybe she can talk up how dangerous the trip is.
I guess.
I mean-
So
I mean,
okay.
if the trip
well,
sounds more dangerous, then she has to give. Then the stuff that is worth more, and she has to give out more. So
if you go there in the morning and you kind of take Halia to the side and you're like, hey, like we're trying to basically get a ride to the cave by playing bodyguard for some people. She would basically kind of tell you like, well, most of the miners are going to be trying to go to find their own plots and their own mines in the mountains. It won't be taking you to Wave Echo Cave. She's like, but if you want her recommendation, from people, or for people to be like, hey, these some great bodyguards. These 5 adventurers can, protect you, and whatever claim you find, she'll definitely put you up in an effort to, see what might happen with Gundren. She does say that he is due to come back because he's been coming back every 4th 10 day or 4th week, like clockwork. He's due to come back in another 10 days, so you could like wait to see where he is and follow him potentially. But otherwise, yeah, if you just want to go, she reminds you that you guys know where the mine is, and you could always get your own horses and cart on your own.
Well, maybe it's
It's an
time
option.
I grow up and buy my own oxen and cart. It's a
Let me
big.
find it because I don't feel like it was very expensive, but I will look.
I also feel like we could just get our own horses and ride those. I think Sparkle Gem could actually technically ride a Mastiff, and they're cheaper.
a what?
A dog.
A Mastiff?
Yeah, I can have a big doggo.
Did you try and say that in such a way that it didn't sound like it was a dog? Because
A
So, like-
Mastiff?
yeah,
So, like, if you guys wanted a
that's not
wagon,
immediately intuitive to me.
a wagon and 2 horses, in order to to get that, the wagon's 35 gold, and draft horse to pull are 50 gold apiece. So for 135 gold, you could get your own wagon and horses to pull it.
Or for 8 gold, I could just get a donkey to ride. I save myself
Yeah.
a shit ton of money.
Yeah, you guys could get your own individual horses. Draft horses are like 50 gold. Riding horses are 75.
I
So if you wanted
can
to,
be a horse.
You could be a horse and it wouldn't matter. Be a horse for like an hour, or do you like 8 hours? What is it? I can't remember.
I think it's like an 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, so you guys could take
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
So what's the difference in
a
speed?
quick
Like,
trip for every 2.
what's the difference in stats between a draft horse and a riding horse?
Basically, a draft horse is going to be pulling things for you without issue, but if you want to ride a horse, you need a riding horse. A horse has to be trained to accept a rider, and it's sort of any rider versus like you finding a horse, teaching the horse to love you, and then let you ride it. Like
Breath of the
a dra-
Wild.
yeah. So that's one. A pony, like a baby horse, it only costs like 30 gold.
Interesting fact. I didn't learn this until I was 35. A pony is not a baby horse.
It's not a young horse. That's a tiny horse.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it-
a small horse, but it's its own breed.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
say
alright.
baby horse is called a calf, if I'm not mistaken.
Fair
Foal.
enough.
Like a calf
Fair
is a
enough.
cow.
Fair enough. A pony though, still 30 gold.
Little factoid.
Yeah,
I can't
like it.
ride a pony, can I?
Ponies
Probably.
can carry 225 pounds, so that's their cap out.
Battle
Yeah,
pony.
so
Technically
probably
speaking, we
you
can all
plus your
ride
gear.
pony.
I don't want
I
a
think-
pony. I want a riding horse.
I want a good horse.
But yeah, you guys could all have your own individual horses. If you got
want a
2 horses
doggo.
and a wagon, you could share that collectively. Two draft horses plus a wagon would be, like I said, 135 gold. But if you split that 5 ways, it's less expensive.
What do you guys think? I walk back in with my head down. I'm like, well, no one's really going to Wave Echo Cave. They're looking for their own.
I thought that she offered a recommendation.
I
Well,
mean,
as a bodyguard
she
for
did-
someone
she
going
did offer
somewhere else,
if you guys
though.
want to go and do it, and you go down there and you could jump off halfway or something. I mean, it's up to you.
But yeah, we'd be on foot halfway. I'd rather personally just pony up the money and either get a horse or get a horse and cart and make our own way.
I would say I could also spend 45 on myself, get my pony, and then a mini cart for my pony. And that way,
A cart is less expensive than a wagon.
yes.
Cart's 15 gold. A whole wagon is 35.
Yeah, so that way, like, we could carry light stuff and we don't have to worry about a bunch of crap.
I want to push your horse
Yeah.
your pony off a cliff.
Just quick math for you guys. If you
I mean,
all
if I
wanted
could do a
riding
cart and a
horses,
doggo, I would.
if you all wanted riding horses, the total is like 375 total. If you guys went for the 2 draft horses plus a wagon, 135 is a lot less individually. It's 27 gold apiece.
I'm sorry, that exchange between CJ and Chris just. Can I get a pony? I want to push your pony off the cliff. Just a very casual fun.
I guess I'm
mean,
too
that's
used to it.
kind
Sorry.
of- yeah, that's kind of just the relationship.
Would there be like
Casual hatred is a thing.
Oh yeah.
would there be like wild horses or anything like that in the area?
You cannot tame a wild horse.
Actually,
I'm a
you
druid.
know there are wild buffalo in the area.
What
So
about
we
like
know
a
that there are
what about like a
wild
big ass
road
stag?
horses. But there might be a stag or horse. Let me see.
So the thing is that. if
But
we-
yeah, no, you might be able to go out into the woods and find a riding animal of your own
I would
without
like
paying
to
for anything.
I would like to go out and find either like a stag or a buffalo or a horse or something.
All right, well, let me figure this out while you're doing that. I don't know the rest of you. So Talison's off own mount that he can ride.
So I'm kind of leaning towards the cart and the draft horse because if we each get our own horse, that's 5 more mouths that we have to feed.
I'm with you.
And I think on top of that, as long as we take care of it, feed it properly, and everything else, give it baths on time to time, a cart would be great.
The carts need baths every once in a
And to
while.
be fed. Like the
So
mighty
are you
Big
talking
Man.
about just getting one horse and one cart?
No,
Because
no, we're-
that's
horses.
200 pounds worth of crap it could carry on it.
Taliesin, roll me your survival check to see if what
We,
what tracks that you might find.
And I don't think we're
That's
going to
a
be
unnat
carrying
20.
much more than like 200 pounds at a time.
Roll me a 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Roll me a d8.
Or a wagon.
One.
Well, we are also
All right.
going to someplace that's supposedly filled with treasures, so we're gonna need. It's gonna be heavy, y'all. It's gonna be heavy.
So
That's fair.
Talison's taking the day to go and find a mount. So it's gonna take him a day to travel out into the woods and to go look for a creature that he could tame and ride. So I just want to say that like basically you are here in Phandalin, Taliesin. Where do you go to
Way back, okay.
look out for?
Probably out into these fields to
Okay.
find like a stag or a wild horse or something.
Mhm.
Generally, I would think that they wouldn't be like just hanging in the woods. They'd probably be out in the fields, like grazing and stuff like that.
Yeah, just like you found the buffalo out in the the hills near Riventor.
Yeah.
But we'll put this on pause right after this. But as you are wandering out in the fields, and there's like trees and wooded areas around there too, you come across a very strange creature. Although hooved, and about the four-legged and about the size of a horse, it has two large lumps across its back and a long curved neck which comes down to what seems like a very large nose and mouth at the end of its nozzle. You recognize this creature as a camel, and it is also kind of wandering out there with the saddle on. So you come across someone's missing camel.
In winter.
Yes, walking
Hmm.
around chewing on bark for trees for
And you
some
can
kind
still
of sustenance.
talk to animals all the time, right?
I can.
So we're gonna put that pin in that real fast. There, you do come
Alright.
across an animal. You do find this actual like saddled creature like wandering around those. But for everybody else, I heard some instances about horses and the cart discussion that was going on.
So it seems like Sparkle Gem wants to buy her own little pony and cart. So I'm gonna go to the boys and ask them if they want to go in on a
I
draft
was
horses
thinking
and a
about
cart.
it, but even then, I'm thinking about just saying skip it and buying myself a little doggo.
Well, she's gonna do whatever she wants just for her. So I go to the boys and I ask them if they want to go in on a cart to transport back all of our treasure. She can't use it.
No girls allowed.
Taliesin, did you get that whisper? Did that work out? I feel like it should have.
I will keep a permanent dick on the side of your fucking cart.
We'll take that with pride.
Yeah.
The rolling.
I mean,
penis.
after all, we are the party of minor disgrace or minor,
Minor
embarrassment.
Oh, that succeeds. You're
I'm
able to
down for the
approach.
wagon. I think the wagon like is a good idea.
I think so too, because it's almost like a mobile base too. So
Yeah. Too much.
Yeah, in the
utility.
wagon instead, and then the two horses.
yeah,
I mean, having multiple horses or multiple mounts isn't a bad idea either. But I mean, like on top of the cart, I think the wagon is the best idea.
I say if you
I
guys
agree.
want to do that, I'll buy the wagon straight out. You guys just split the cost of the two horses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
sure.
then still get my own doggo.
Yeah, Taliesin. This camel generally appeared kind of like confused and lost. But you are able to calm it down and approach it. And if you can offer it some food, it'll allow you to mount it onto its saddle
All right,
and ride it.
Do we want to put a pin in this? It's 9 o'clock. So
I'll accept Sparkle Gem's plan.
What? Me buy my own doggo and wagon?
No, the
instead?
other one.
What? I had like 3 of them.
The one that ends up with us having a wagon and 2 horses.
yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah, that's the one where I was going to buy the wagon straight out, and then
So
Does
the three of us
everybody-
will split the cost of 2 horses.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to try and cast animal friendship on it.
I'll be right back.
So you
Okay.
could just try talking first.
No, go
instead of
ahead.
Magic.
What does your animal friendship
Um,
spell do?
So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
So you're just charming it.
Well,
Straight up.
yeah, but basically it's like that'll give me that lasts for 24 hours, so it'll give me time to like actually befriend it, and get it to trust me.
Yeah, this sounds like something I read in a book once. It did not end well.
I mean, it's a camel.
Its wisdom saving throw is 15 with a -1 on its wisdom.
Oh, really?
That was good.
All right, so it passed then. Well, then I will just like to try to talk to it.
Okay.
And do camels eat meat? Are they omnivorous?
Yes, they're
Are
omnivores.
camels omnivores?
Camels are omnivores. They
mean-
are not omnivores, herbivores.
They are herbivores.
That's a different
Okay,
thing.
so they eat. Okay, so can I?
It's basically kind of like looking and trying to find food, like chewing on trees to try and gain
I
some
will-
like sustenance.
roll survive? So that's an
Okay.
unnat 20. I was rolling to
For
look
what?
for something for him to eat.
Okay, so for survival roll, let's tell me before we roll so we remember. But yeah, you're. Oh, let's see, something that grows in the winter. You're able, you're able to find it, whereas the animal is clearly not in its home territory. It's not from this kind of area. You recognize that immediately. In your profession, we'll call it, as a druid. So you're able to find some food for it and offer it to the camel. At which point it seems very grateful. Lets you get close, takes the food from you and starts eating it. As you let it have a little bit, you can then kind of keep turning towards
Alright,
it.
I'll
and
be right back.
continue
I'm
to
gonna go
offer it
smoke a
some
cigarette.
food. Keeps taking whatever you offer it.
Sweet. I would like, I guess, to mount it then. And you said it already has like a saddle and everything, right?
Yeah, it has a saddle. It has saddlebags. It has a bit and bridle. So the piece in its mouth that you can grab the reins and move it on. It's actually very apparent to you that someone lost a camel here, although it seems so strange that it would even be in the area, let alone be lost. But you found it.
I guess as I'm leading it back to town, in like a light gallop, probably trying to get back. I want to
It
check
took the day to go out and come back. So
Yeah.
you get back in time.
I would like to check the saddlebags as I'm riding back to see if there's anything that I can like figure out where this thing came from.
Okay. Roll me. Roll me a d20.
That's 6.
It's a 6.
Yeah.
In the saddlebags, as you're walking and leading, I guess, instead of riding it back. You find in the satchel there is a letter addressed to someone in what is that town to the south? There's a letter addressed to Dazar in Leylon, and it just says, I'm sending this mercenary along with you, and it was like sealed. You had to like crack open the letter in order to read what was inside. I'm sending this man along with our arranged materials to you. I hope you treat them as well as you would treat me. Can't wait to hear from you again in Neverwinter. And then inside the rest of the satchel, outside of like a couple days ration, you also find something called Soul Walk, which is a drug. It's you know that it is used to induce a trance-like state and is often used by people seeking a spiritual journey. And there seems to be a lot of it in the other saddlebags. So there's like one on one side that contains the letter and a little bit, and then the other saddlebag, the letter and the rations on the one side. But then in the other saddlebag, it's almost full of this soul walk drug.
Oh shit!
It's like a plant.
Is it weed?
Trance-like state on a spiritual journey. No, it's like cactus.
Oh, it's like peyote.
It'll quench you.
Wow. Yeah, it's what are the
Fuck yeah.
what kind of plants are those called?
Peyote.
Cactuses. Cactus is a succulent, so it's like
Yeah.
the succulent skins. All of the spines have been picked from it, and you know that like inside is a liquid that does this. It induces this trance-like state.
Oh dang! All right.
I learned about
Um,
drugs from Avatar.
I
It's called Soul
All right.
Walk.
Well,
So if you want to add like 10 doses of Soul Walk, or I can like throw it onto your, I'll throw it on your sheet real fast.
Like,
Yeah,
how
go
many
ahead.
pounds is that?
so as I'm writing back and I read this letter and I kind of like look in the rest of the bag, I'm just like, holy shit!
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, you-
puts the letter back and kind of pats the I want to mount up on the camel,
yeah.
but then I want to speak in Sylvan and I want to ask it, like, as we're approaching town, like where it came from and like what happened.
Like what happened? Where'd your rider go?
Yeah.
And as you're kind of like drawing it, leading it towards the south, it was like in shorter kind of bursts of camel language. I don't know how camel sounds, but we're gonna be like ah.
like-
The camel just kind of says like they were attacked. The rider was pulled off, and this camel she ran south and got lost and hungry. And so glad that you came along.
Can I ask what the camel's name is? Can I?
Camels not typically naming themselves. Confused by what you mean. Thinks of what it was called, and it was called Ettin. Ettin. Ettin was her name.
Etten. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What if I call you Camela?
Just seems generally uncaring about how you refer to her. Just
All
answered the
right.
question before.
It's
And
like, is there
sure.
still food?
Yeah.
I'm calling. Your name is now Camela.
She speaks back, gestures back in camel sounds, and sounds affirmative and true.
Like, if I
Yeah,
called
sweet.
my cat a good
Alright.
dog every day, it wouldn't care as long as the treats kept coming.
Yes. I
Yeah,
mean, it can
but it
actually
doesn't
understand
happen.
me though.
Yeah, it's weird because like certain like animals' intelligence is never like typically all that high, but certain ones like camels a -4 on its
Yeah.
intelligence. So I could be like, oh, what does it understand about you? -1. That's what I understand. Nothing. But we'll
Yeah.
just say kind of generally not quite intelligently responds to you as best it can, right?
Yeah, so essentially with Sylvan, like I can understand like the way I can interpret like
Man.
what they're saying with like their body language and like their sounds and things like that.
Yep,
Yeah.
And they
that's
can
right
understand
what it
me.
says. Says beasts can understand your speech, and you gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily that they have to like speak very eloquently to me. I can just kind of get what they're meaning by how they're reacting.
Right.
Like if it's
Ryder,
a
Ryder
it-
was they
like,
were
it was-
attacked.
they're-
Ryder was taken off. Camel went running southward.
Cool. I'll just ride it back to town.
Yeah.
Just kind of be like,
So-
all right.
So everybody else who's been spending the day gathering supplies and things together, buying ponies or horses and a cart, sees Taliesin stroll back into town with a fully saddled camel, a creature that most of you have only like heard about in tales. It seems like the most bizarre horse you've ever seen. Managed to
I have no idea what the hell this is.
Hey,
It looks like you took a horse and put it through the machine.
I also do not know what it is.
I don't know.
I lost you guys
Alright.
for a second.
So I have everything figured out for what I want to buy for the trip.
It's Kamala Anderson.
Where did it
Oh,
come from?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No,
I found it in the
keep it.
fields.
Keep the name.
Kamala Anderson.
This is not.
That's what she told me
Okay,
her name
it's-
was.
It's not magical, so I guess it's fine. Just like whenever you make a friend, something seems to happen to everybody else.
I mean, this is a camel.
Yeah.
So like one quick note for like
Just don't make
Taliesin
it the camel queen, okay?
I'll make sure I don't do that, man.
Like I say this, still only vaguely understanding what a camel is.
It's like a horse, but like lumpier and longer.
You mean like
Yeah.
a donkey?
Kind of. It's like the opposite of a donkey. Like donkey's like a short, stubby horse. But I'm sure we could get it to pull the cart, so we don't need two horses.
It's your card, Sparkle. Are you willing to try whatever this thing is?
you mean the wagon? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm cool with having a camel pull the wagon. I don't have to do it.
Okay then.
So if that's the case, you guys would just have to split 3 ways on the freaking one horse. Have a camel and a horse pulling it. Unless, give me 1 second.
Yeah, so
Let me do a bit of math.
Taliesin,
Yes.
I've added the soul walk to your inventory, along with the collective value of the drug. Now, just for you, a quick note on how drugs work in Faerun. Unlike United States 2019, there aren't like a series of laws making these kinds of things illegal, especially with the number of magical things that could be out there and exist. There's really no idea of kind of like regulating this sort of thing. So like drugs aren't illegal, right? Like they're not bad, but they do carry inherent value like they do today in our world. And what you found, as you may or may not notice, is actually quite valuable.
Hell yeah. Jeez. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. I mean, I'm ready. I've got this camp. I've got Camilla Anderson with me. If we want
Pamela
to, did you guys
Anderson.
did you guys pick up a cart or a wagon?
Give me a second.
Sparkle Jam said that they would be buying the wagon, and
I'm
now
buying the wagon solo, and then obtaining my own animal to ride. Just
So
mainly,
you're buying the wagon?
yes. Straight up. I have all I don't know if you just got my whisper, but I just did like a little bit of shopping
yep.
things I would want to get for this adventure.
You'd like to see if that is the kind of creature that's available?
Well,
Okay.
okay, so with that, I looked up in the PHB. A camel's carrying capacity is 480 pounds. The wagon is 400 pounds by itself. So the camel by itself is not going to be able to successfully pull a wagon and anything we put inside of it. So we would still need to
One camel?
obtain-
No.
Yeah, so we would still need to obtain a second animal. Draft horse is probably going to be our best bet there because that's 540-pound carrying capacity plus the camel's 480.
Right. When you put two draft horses carrying a wagon, as they are intended to, you get the weight of the wagon taken care of essentially by one, plus the other people / items carrying the other half sort of load
Yeah.
that it can bear carried by the other. It's a decent setup to have two draft horses pulling a wagon. Makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Camel can pull a similar amount as a horse, but they're a little slower, so you might not travel quite as fast as a draft
Well, that's
horse.
if you
would go.
get. Well, no, that's riding
Oh, no,
horse.
no.
That's you're
Oh,
looking
yeah, it's
at
a riding
draft
horse.
horses are a little bit
Yeah.
slower than camels.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna get the rest
But
of
have a
fast.
higher carrying capacity.
So camel can pretty much keep up with your draft horse. Not quite the same carrying capacity, but speed-wise.
Yeah, speed
Okay, there you go.
wise, the camel would be faster than the draft horse, so the camel wouldn't be as strained.
All right, so we just have to go in on a horse, and I want to buy
Yeah.
I want to buy a grappling hook before we leave town.
Okay. So let's see. So if you guys are doing the two draft horses and the wagon, or if you do one draft horse and a wagon, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So if the camel is not a riding animal, but instead a
Cart
beast of
wagon
burden,
animal.
yeah, beast of burden, then you might not need two draft horses. So you can save you're looking at saving 50 gold by not purchasing another horse.
because
Of course,
Perfect.
you also we're kind of just talking about it in general, knowing the prices, and you haven't
Camel.
been to, Barthen's Provisions, where the horse stables and things are in the meantime, in order to discuss that either. So
Wait, what?
you guys are talking about this between each other. You know the
Yes.
prices of these things, but you haven't gone to Barthen's to like haggle or anything like that.
No, not yet.
The gang becomes a cartel. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm done with that. Since we've got the camel, we just need to get one draft horse, and I want a grappling hook, and then we can go.
I mean, I have a list of things I wanted to get as well. So, all stuff to be carried on the wagon.
Honestly, while we're discussing inventory, does
You cut out.
does anybody need a longsword or some chainmail?
Maybe. I'm gonna run.
I think that sword that you got from your mama's was a special sword. Same with the armor.
Oh, okay.
So if those are the two items you were talking about that the party dropped off at your mother's for you, we would have to go back and double check notes and find out exactly what's unique about them. Because I remember both of them being
Talking
having.
about the Lord's Alliance gleaming armor and Fang or Talon.
I don't remember the name of them. I'm sorry. My notes aren't
because
like.
the ones were the ones I started off with, like at level 1.
Oh, they are? Then
Yeah.
if that's the case, you should have gotten stuff that the party left behind at your mother's for you.
Oh yeah, no, I've got that stuff. I'm wondering if anybody needs my stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure most of us are only proficient in medium and light armor. So your best bet might be to sell the chainmail or use it to cover your share of the horse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might see if I can do that then.
Yeah, I can't wear metal. I don't think either.
As a druid, you cannot wear metal. At least that's how it used to be. I have the PHB right here. I could look at it.
No, I'm pretty sure I can't. Yeah.
That's kind of been a staple for a long time.
Yeah, like I said, it used to be that way. I know 100%. Not sure about these days. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it says
So,
specifically under proficiencies, druids will not wear armor or use shields made out of metal.
They're against it.
So,
Which is why it was quite fortunate that you were able to find hide armor at the
Which
we were
was
in
sweet.
tour.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Very.
Definitely boosted my AC.
It was a random roll on a table of things that really helped out.
Oh yeah, that boosted my AC, and so did the staff of defense.
Staff defense.
I'm like dual wielding staffs.
Yes, you are. You hold a staff in each hand.
Giant
All your other
drumstick.
gear is on your backpack or whatever.
I want to like when I put them on my back, they like make a big X. I think I'm really cool.
I think you can galore your devil.
Yes. And I'm sorry, I had to run downstairs for a second, but did you buy a wagon or?
we haven't gone to negotiate prices yet because, as we all know, Sparkle Gem refuses to pay full price for anything.
Well, we're also local heroes.
Which should
So
give us
we
a
might-
discount.
Possibly.
And he
that's
loves
entirely.
and he loves me.
Does particularly like jerk. Elmar
You should go up and ask for a discount and then kiss him.
Big old wet sloppy.
So I know Taliesin spent the day. He kind of went off out into the fields and amongst the fields and trees found a camel that had saddlebags, bit and bridle and everything, and came back to Phandalin with it. So by the time he comes back towards the end of the day, I'm looking at what is the rest of the group in Phandalin been doing. I hear there's we're interested in buying a wagon and some horses. Are you like saying you know that Taliesin went off looking for some mounts?
Well, we
and you're
assume
waiting
that
for him to come back.
Yeah, I would assume that's the case, but while we're waiting for that, I could go procure the items that I'm looking to put onto the wagon. And even then, we know we need the wagon, so I could also buy the wagon and my Mastiff all at once. I could spend my money. And we could figure out the horse the next day and say it went that way. If everyone's okay with that.
We'll see. You guys are saying to wait for him to come back.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so if you wait for the day, what was Talison's rolls on the 15's pretty high earlier in the day, not too far off the trail, found this camel and came back. So he comes back probably, 6 hours later. You guys were up at 8. He went off immediately first thing. So what's that put him at noon? It's like sun is high in the sky, halfway into the day, and he rolls back with the strangest looking horse you've ever seen.
Cool.
I wonder what it feels like to lay between those bumps.
I was riding through the valley with a horse with no name, but then I gave it a name and it's Camilla.
Camilla Anderson, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
Camel Anderson.
He's just got his head in his hands over there. I think you broke him.
Okay.
No, I support Kamala Anderson 100%.
Come on, guys. It's an inventive name.
Yeah, so Sparkle. So are you guys basically going to Barthen's then to look to barter for a horse, hoping that there's a Mastiff
Yes.
in town and a cart that's available?
Wagon more so
Or
than a
wagon,
cart.
or wagon, right?
Yeah.
right, right.
I mean, if we want to
okay.
do the cart instead, we can. That would save me money. But and then all we would need is the camel. We wouldn't need anything else.
So the wagon between the cart difference is going to be like, if you think of like a big wheelbarrow on the back of, being dragged by horses versus a covered wagon in the sense of what is it, Oregon Trail, right? Like that's the kind of difference between your cart and a wagon.
Yeah.
Wagon's it's covered, cart is not. Cart is smaller, wagon is larger. Wagons tended to put people on it.
My vote's for the wagon.
Okay.
Wagon.
Spend all my money.
Let's not.
Okay.
We just got to make sure we protect this thing.
All right. So as you guys go to Barthen's Provisions, and Shirk is our point man here, I heard.
Yep.
Remember correctly? Couple of you, I don't know who, approach. Who?
I
Anybody?
will. yeah.
Everybody
I
approaches?
mean, yeah, there's trading going on. I don't trust these people to get a good deal.
I'm
Alright.
just like I'm riding the camel around in the town square, just like talking to people and like telling
Oh,
them
yeah.
about Camilla.
Random people are really interested in this bizarre horse that you have. So while you're doing that, they go to Barthen's Provisions. Barthen is, busier than you've ever seen him to be, but it means there's several people in his shop at once. He sees Jerk walk through the door, a big smile on his face. He didn't.
I
he didn't
walk
drink
in with my
too heavily, but he's like, Jerk.
I
Good
walk
to
in with
see
my
you.
my
And
arms
Sparkle
high.
Motion. How are my favorite adventurers?
I walk in with my arms high like this, and I just walk up to him and I give him the bro hug. And I'm like, "You're busy, brother. This is nice. It looks great."
He accepts it and is like, "Oh yeah, things have been great since you guys have ran all those bandits out of Phandalin. Never knew how much trouble they were giving all of us on those goblins on the Triboard Trail with all of their attacks. Nobody was coming through here anymore. But you really took care of that. Business has been great. What can I do for you?"
Well, we're looking for some means of transportation. I think we decided we need a wagon, and we need a draft horse. Then I think
And
we personally have a couple other lists, if you can get us supplies for our way too. So we came to patronize you. Our favorite shop,
Oh,
best shop in town.
these all sound like all sounds like good news for me and good news for Fandolin. I'm excited to tell you, I could definitely help you with that draft horse. I'll take you over to the stables. We have several fine horses there, even a riding horse or two if you're interested.
Ooh.
And I don't know. Let's see about that wagon. We definitely have a few of those. You can take your pick from the colors of leather that encompass the cart itself. I'd love to show you those, and I'd love to hear about this list of things that you guys need to go on your next adventure. Just remember when you're telling your stories, tell them that you went to Barthen's for all your provisions.
Every time, my man. Every time.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
All right.
So you guys are asking for.
I think Sparkle Gem sent you her list. My list is a grappling hook.
Okay.
That's my whole list.
A single grappling. How are your rations? How are torches if you
Adventuring
need
game.
any? Do you have tents to keep yourself?
You guys should all be at about like 5 rations a piece, because your travels out and back. You should be somewhere around that.
I'm at
'Cause
4.
they are like a per day. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
should
have
be,
to pick
like,
up
generally
rations
around-
then as well on my list. Damn it.
All right.
Barthen definitely has a grappling hook, and roll me a persuasion against his.
12.
He offers you the grappling hook for 1 gold,
Oh yeah.
and you kind of familiar with it. It's a little less expensive than it might cost you, and you're kind of stoked that Barthen, after all these years, still remembers you and still loves you.
And I'll probably pick up 10 rations.
Okay. Oh my gosh, where did that go? I literally just had it open.
But rations, I'm pulling it up now.
Do.
Rations are 5 silver piece per one.
Yeah. 5 silver for 1 day's worth of rations. So if you wanted a 10-day, 50 silver.
Okay.
Everybody in town has the exchange for you too. So if something's in silver, and you only have gold, they'll take gold piece in exchange for their silver, etc. But yeah, if anybody else is interested in rations, he's selling them for 4 silver a piece to Jerk.
I'll definitely be grabbing some. I'm probably gonna send you a list.
Right.
As well.
Okay.
Okay, post them all real fast, like in here, because we got Jerk. Jerk is your front man on this. With the list that he got from Sparkle Gem. So I was like, well, it's like Mastiffs. It's an interesting proposition. I'll have to start thinking about keeping beasts like that here. It's like, unfortunately, I have no Mastiff, but there were some gnomish knights who came through, and I may not have a Mastiff here, but they did leave behind a very large ram. I feel like a very small person might be able to take that ram onto a mount. I mean, those gnomes were riding it as if it were a horse. That's so funny. Little people.
Well, some horses are a little too tall for our short legs to climb up.
Yes, but he does tell you about a large ram that he has in the stables that has been there, and he was initially thinking of keeping it for the mate with a what would it be? It's a ram, so it mates
Sheep.
with a sheep, right? Like to mate with a
Yeah.
sheep, and then start producing some animals to create wool for the seamstress in town. But they used it as a mount. He certainly would sell it as a mount.
How much would he be offering it up for?
Actually, I think I'm just gonna go for the same cost that
Mastiff?
a massive would be. 25 gold. Give up what he thought is a fine breeding ram.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just pay 25 outright for it.
Okay. I mean, it's a jerk. You guys, if you guys are collectively handing him money, he definitely has a wagon. He has several, surrounding the property. So you go out there and you can see a couple different covered wagons, and two of them are just with the kind of standard canvas color that goes over on top of it. It's like that, like boring beige. But one of the wagons is just a little more expensive. Instead of
35?
yeah, instead of 35, this one's 40 gold, but the leather on the outside of it is a nice bright red.
Considering our luck with wagons and carts, I'm not going to spend extra money to get a nicer one. This is
So it's
what
there. He shows it to Jerk. He shows him the wagons, their selection. Looking at some of the other items that you put out there, tent, and why is that menu just stuck above mine? There we go. All right. Looking at a tent.
ration price quick.
Tent, 2-person tent. He'll give to Jerk for 1 gold.
Sorry, the headache comes and goes. Did I miss anything?
fine.
Well, so he has a couple different wagons as options. One of them is 5 gold pieces more expensive, but it's more ornate.
What
The leather around the
If you
covered
guys
section
want
is the red leather versus the canvas on the other two. Yeah, the two look a little more like used and beat up, but the one with the red leather cover does seem a bit nicer. So those are available, like I said, for the 2-person tent. We'll do those for 1 gold a piece for Jerk. And chest lock 3 sets of manacles. He doesn't have manacles, but he points you down towards the Lion Shield Coster. If you're
Okay.
interested. Says that they might have that kind of restraints available, but it's not really on his list of staples that he gets for people. The portable rams, same deal. If
Okay.
there's something like that, it's not something that's in his inventory, but you can go to the Lion Shield Coster and they can probably help you out. They've been doing a lot better with their inventory. I would say, like, years ago when you were here, they were absolute garbage, but they're okay now. This is way of kind of putting down other shops while still referring you to them.
All right. So then, what would our cut for the horse be each? There's 3 of us buying the horse.
So you guys are getting 1 draft horse.
Yep.
It's 50 gold. However you divide that, 50 gold. But he would do it for probably a little bit better, so 45. So 45 divided by 5.
3.
Gold apiece.
It's what?
45 divided by 5.
It'd be 15 gold piece each if you split it 3 ways.
I'm good with that. You guys good with that?
That works for me.
I accept these terms.
I don't have any money.
You are
Oh, we didn't
you don't
count you.
have to pay. Yeah, you're not paying because you got the camel. That's your contribution to getting the wagon set up.
It's convenient that way.
As long as I don't have to keep pulling the cart.
You guys are able to pick up
Nope. But you bunk with the camel.
I'm totally
Pick up the
hanging out
horse.
with Camel Anderson.
He throws in the bit and bridle and the barding for the horse to go along with it. No extra cost of gold because he's such a fan of Sparkle Motion.
I don't think he has camel
Oh.
riding.
Hey, Taliesin, I gave you that ornate tome, right?
No, but just kind of generally.
You gave that to Godwald.
Okay, so Godwald, you have the ornate tome.
That was the one about Gramoosh, right?
Yeah.
I still have that.
Okay, I'm going to remove that from my inventory because I never did.
The wagon would normally go for 35 gold. He's willing to give it to you guys for 30.
Sweet, that saves me some money.
So however many ways do you divide that up?
Well, I said I would pay for the wagon straight out if they covered the horses 3 ways. So
Oh, okay. So you take 30 gold off of
Yeah.
yours, and you guys are now the proud owners of a standard covered wagon, as you have been in the past. Although this one does not have your handcrafted carved map into the side of it.
I'm going to miss that map.
did he have the chest or the lock, or is all that going to be at the other store?
Pubert,
The
Yeah.
chest lock. So you're looking for locks?
I have a hammer I can
Or
give
the
Well,
you.
chest
I'm-
itself?
I'm looking for a chest by itself and a lock by itself, so that way we could keep our items like in the chest that we find on
Okay.
the wagon. Like,
He'll do the chest lock combination for a total of 12 gold pieces.
sweet. Okay.
He does have that equipment at hand. So who's taking that?
Well, like I was going to cover
marking
all
off
that.
the-
Yeah.
off the
I'm
gold
going
for
to
that?
be.
Okay.
Do you want my hammer, Pubert?
I was just thinking if we, as long as the party has one,
All right, yeah, it's
basic mining equipment.
heavy. Do you want it?
No, that's okay. Unless you're getting rid of it.
I'm getting rid of it.
He doesn't
Oh,
want to
okay.
carry it.
It's 3 pounds.
And it puts me over capacity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've had those days.
So
It says I'm over carrying capacity, but a lot of this stuff gets left on the cart, so I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
yeah,
figure out
bear.
that math.
Didn't get to tell you that story.
free hammer,
The way-
Pubert.
The way I would do this,
Hammer.
if you are reaching that overcapacity part and you want to put some of your stuff onto the cart, I would
I was going to suggest making an empty character sheet and labeling it like cart inventory and just have it accessible equipment to everybody.
one person could be the keeper of the cart list. And that's probably your best bet. Like, so that between 5 people, they're like, I put this on the cart. Hey, CJ, can you add us to the cart list? That way you guys have an idea what's on the list. I would still add the items into your inventory, but then like zero them out so that you like have some idea on your individual character sheet that you at one point had that thing. That way you'd be like, oh, is this on the cart, right? And then you can ask the person who's holding your cart list.
I would volunteer for that, except for I probably.
But you what?
Oh,
You cut off.
I would volunteer to do the cart list, but I have probably the shittiest attendance out of all of us.
I could easily do the cart list. That is not a problem.
I like that plan.
You were the cart maiden.
Apparently.
Maybe the way to go. Let's see. We wanted to sell some items.
All right. Well, there's a hammer on the cart, and
What type of hammer?
just a adventuring equipment hammer. Regular old adventuring gear hammer. And then if they're 1 gold, I'm gonna pick up a 2-person tent as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Go
that
ahead and mark a gold off and add it to your inventory.
well, we'll add that to the cart inventory.
Yeah, because those things are 20 pounds apiece.
Okay.
Is anybody else buying one of those for themselves, or is it just going to be Jerk and I?
I'll pick one up as well.
Okay.
Those are
Mark the
gold.
gold. Yeah, 1 gold. I think he's cutting down prices for Jerk, and in general, the Spark Motion party was a. And I am trying to find the costs of armor to think what you would sell that to the Lion Shield coster for, and I cannot find myself a thing. It's driving me
So
crazy.
it looks like it's got the GP cost on the character sheet, so I know that players can buy it.
Okay. What's the cost on the character sheet?
So chainmail is 75, and a log.
Okay, they will. Lion Shield coster, she'll probably buy it off you for 65, knowing that she needs to try and turn around and sell it for 75. And it's
Yeah, okay.
used in some way. So if you want to mark that off your sheet and then you're speaking with her and dealing with her for 65, add that to your total inventory. What else? Anybody else? Anybody else while we're here, while we're doing this stuff?
What?
Let's do it
Lion
now.
Shield?
Lion Shield coster, Barthen's provisions.
I guess I'm looking for some light studded armor, something that's just that'll raise my armor class a little bit. Anything that'll get it above 15.
Well, I remember last time we were
How
here,
about a
you said
shield?
nothing above 50 gold pieces was being sold.
I'm a
That
dual
may have
wielder.
changed.
I mean, you asked.
Yeah, no,
You can always just swap out the. You can always just swap out the dagger for the shield when things get dicey.
I don't think I would do well with the shield. Is a shield heavy armor?
No, it's its own proficiency.
I don't have
You d-
any
Yeah, it doesn't
proficiency.
have proficiency in shields.
Oh, dang.
Rogue
Well, I
would
tried.
use
Well,
that.
thank you. I
The
appreciate
rogue.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if we're at Lion Shield, I would like to try to get the other items on my list. Which
What?
were. What?
I was gonna say, so I've just been riding around in the town square with my camel. While you guys are doing all this stuff, with all the new people in town, would there be like an enchanter?
A what?
Somebody who
Last
can
I
enchant
knew,
things.
last I knew, the person who was enchanting things was the luck goddess, but even then, the priestess of Timora. But even though she was really low on supplies the last time we were in town.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
as
she was
you,
getting
as you're
hot.
kind of like looking around to see if there's anyone like basically you're looking for religious folks who might might worship a god or a deity and have the ability to imbue its blessing upon something. You don't really see anyone that would kind of match what you're looking for, but you definitely kind of give a look around, and you would remember too that the priestess Timora, she was willing to, give a prayer to an item for Jerk. She's willing to do prayers still.
Okay. So I want to while they're kind of shopping and doing stuff, I would like to go find the priestess Timora.
Okay. Bear would probably go to find her too, looking for the potion of healing. So I know that was on his list. The candle wax.
I have a weird idea, and I don't even know if this is going to work, but I'll try it.
I mean, there's a candle. You could buy a candle for a copper.
I
I
like.
You could buy candle wax by buying candles.
Yeah, because I don't even need that much.
I have a candle
you
if
buy
you want
what?
to just use it.
You use one candle's worth of it's a silver, or even that a copper.
I have no use for candles. I have dark vision.
So you're looking at survival knife different from a knife.
Not really. I was just kind of writing down things that came to me.
You can definitely pick up a knife from the Line Shield Coster.
All right, and I'm
So-
gonna.
And selling the chainmail would also be to the Line Shield Coster, and just a longsword, same deal.
So me going to the priestess Timora. So Timora is the luck goddess. So I would like to roll up on my camel and flag her.
The longsword, she'll buy off you for 10 gold, knowing that she needs to sell it for 15. So if you want to mark a longsword off and then add 10 gold, you're more than welcome to.
Oh,
You roll it. You're riding your camel around the town square. I don't know if I put you guys on the Phandalin map. I'll throw you over there. You're approaching the priestess of Timora, as is Hubert, looking for a healing potion. It is during the day, so you can find her around the old Pita Bottom home or at the Luck Shrine.
So what I would like to do is I would like to see if she could imbue the like ornate, the like ceremonial golden knife that I have. If she can imbue that with Lucky.
She'll tell you the same thing that she told Jerk, like when he asked just for blessing. She's like, she can definitely bless an item, but she can't guarantee that
Anything will happen.
Timora will, answer the call. Perhaps some future time, with the blessing, you'll find her. You're lucky or advantageous in a way, but she'll definitely take whatever item that you're giving her and perform a small rite and a prayer to it.
Would it make any difference if this isn't for me? This is for a friend.
But she can't. She does it. She basically tries to tell you, like, I don't speak for Timora. I'm not the conduit for her words. I'm here to spread her teachings and do it. I can't do what I can. It doesn't really make a difference. It's what Timora chooses to respond to. I won't know any better than you would.
Okay. Well, anything you can do to this thing, I would appreciate.
She definitely takes it and spends some time like doing her best to like give a prayer over it and then kind of hands it back to you as she can. She goes, "May Timora's blessings be with you. May you find yourself lucky in every important matter."
Okay. I appreciate it.
It's just Timora be with you. And she continues to pray and hope that the luck goddess will continue blessing your efforts.
So also on the cart, I'm gonna kind of put emergency rations. I'm gonna put like 7 emergency rations in a barrel on the cart.
In the barrel, or do you want to put that in the chest that I have on there with the lock on it?
That's fine. So we're gonna do 7 in case we get hungry and we don't have any more.
Okay. Locked chest is now full of food.
So much food.
So much food.
I mean, we could also put it in a barrel. That's all up to you.
Yeah, you guys can also pick up barrels and crates for very little. A few copper. A sack is 1 copper. A barrel is probably not much more. A barrel is 2 gold. A sack is 1 copper. Sure, there must be another. Basket is
I'll-
4 silver. So there's lots of things you could choose to pick it up. A barrel being the most expensive. Looks like.
I mean, I'll spend 1 silver piece and get 10 sacks.
Okay. You could put 10 sacks on the cart, probably. Or
I mean,
1
they're
silver piece.
empty right now, so I don't imagine them taking up much room.
Yeah, they're a half pound a piece. If they're empty, they're empty.
Oh, also, did it the portable ram? What else was on that list? And the 3 monocles, are those going to be at?
What
Yeah,
was
those
this?
are the 3 manacles and the portable ram are at the Lion Shield.
Yes,
correct?
yes. You're looking for handcuffs, manacles. Essentially, they are 2 gold a piece. So if you
Okay,
wanna
and
get 3 of
then
them. That's 6 gold.
yep, and then what about the portable ram? That's 4 gold pieces PHB price.
The RAM portable, yeah, it's 4 gold.
Okay.
It's 35 pounds, so it's probably good
It's all going on the wagon.
wagon material.
Yeah. Well, that's why all this, pretty much everything on that list was to stock up the wagon with things we may need.
So I think that counts the knife, candle wax, 1 healing potion. The Priestess of Timora would have, after 3 years and years of what there is, she has 3 healing potions. She's willing to sell them for 50 gold apiece.
Okay.
I ain't got money for that. I'm broke now.
But if you wanted one, mark 50 gold off. The Lion Shield Coster is willing to buy your chainmail for 60 gold, knowing that they have to sell it for 75. So if you want to mark chainmail off and add 60 gold, go right ahead.
All right.
Am I missing anyone's requests on the lists that I've seen or things that I've heard for what you could pick up from the shops in town?
Just remind me, the rations are how much gold?
They're normally 5 silver for a day. I think it sold it less for 4 silver a piece or 3. What was it? Anybody remember?
It was 4.
It's 4. So 4 silver a day. If you got a week, that would be 40 silver or 4 gold, right?
Yes.
So if you got a week is 10 days. A 10-day you're in favor.
Sweet. Throw that on top of the ones I got.
Lock and chest combos only 30. All right. Did I miss anything else or anyone else's stuff?
Nope.
All right. You guys are geared up. You now own a cart, which there are several sacks where you can put some of your things. There is a chest that is containing all of your food as your most valuable item, I'm assuming. If you guys carry your backpacks, you can always put them on the cart. You have a draft horse and a camel. So on that list, CJ, of
Yes.
the things that go, you're going to want to add the draft horse and the camel as well as the cart. I mean, it's just your list of all your stuff that is taking place. You're probably going to need some food for the draft horse and the camel as well as yourselves. So I
Yeah.
imagine if you have any amount of rations for yourselves, just call the ration cost for the animal same as yours. So if you get it from Barthen's, we're going 4 silver per day.
I thought animal feed was cheaper than that.
I don't see that.
Let's see here. That's 12.
Mounts feed per day. Oh, 5 copper. Okay, 5 copper per day for feeding your each animal. So 10 copper or 1 silver
15 copper
per
because
day
my own
for
ram.
each one. Oh, and yours, yeah. So another 5 copper.
Damn.
So 1.5
So let's see.
silver per day for all 3 animals.
I mean, I'll pay for my ram to get a week's worth straight out, and not like do a group expense there, which would be
Okay.
what, 5 silver.
5 silver.
I'll pay for the other 2 for a week. What would that be?
1 gold.
Yep.
Alright.
1 gold for a week's worth of food for your animal.
Alright.
So you guys now have a cart, two animals to pull it, the food for the cart, food for yourselves, some other bits and pieces of random equipment. You've sold some things that you picked up in town. Is there anything else you want to sell or buy while you are here in Phandalin, preparing for where are you headed?
Do we still have those gemstones we could take to what's her face and try to sell, or no?
You had all the gemstones. I had 1.
Oh, we want to set out to Wavako Cave.
Yeah.
Wave Echo. Okay.
Oh shit! Were those gemstones on the cart when it was stolen?
Yep.
Motherfucker.
So we lost all that because I had that on cart notes and not on my inventory sheet. So the old cart got stolen with all the gemstones.
Those guys made a bunch of money.
Right. From now on, any gemstones we find are going into my vial of
The
cuteness.
jar.
Yeah, my jar of cuteness.
The jar with the water weird.
Jar of cuteness.
It's a good place to keep stuff, considering it's literally protecting whatever you put in the jar with it. It's like its mission in life.
Oh, crud. Speaking of, I have to roll a D100, don't I?
Huh?
For
To make sure I don't accidentally pull out the gold coin that.
oh yeah, every time you've done a transaction, so you've got 2, and you need 2 D100s. So go ahead and roll those.
Crud. I
Awesome.
don't. Is there even a D100 option on this?
How about
Yes.
roll 2d10, and if they both crit?
Well, no, because we've. Like,
Yeah, there is. If you do it on the menu.
But okay, there it goes. That's not my roll, but 2D100s. Let's see
So
here.
if you open up the menu under advanced roll, you could do 1 D100, and it will do it. There
Oh,
you go.
thank God, we're good.
56 and 93. Yeah, you do
Yeah.
not take out the gold coin that is binding the water weird to the jar.
What happens if that thing gets out? Do we get attacked?
We don't know.
Oh man.
No
We,
one
we-
knows.
we just got to roll every time Sparkle Gem spends money out of the jar.
Yep. Because it says right here. Oh no, it says right here that if I remove the coin that the water weird is bound to, the creature disappears back to the Fae, and it becomes a jar of water.
So it's tough. It's kind of like to make sure we don't pull that 1 out of this jar. So
Man, I gotta find
electrum, copper. So how do we figure out which one it is?
I think it says on it that it's gold. Yeah, gold coin. A gold coin sits at the
Gold coin.
bottom. So as long as I have to keep 1 gold coin in there at all times, essentially. I need to find a way to super glue that 1 gold coin to the bottom of the jar so I never touch it.
Stay forever. Forever.
I mean, I'm broke now, so I'm not spending any money for
Right.
a long time.
All right. Have I covered everybody? Are we all in? We're good?
I'm good to go.
Geared up. Talk to everyone in Phandalin after your missing period of time. You celebrated and partied. A day has gone by in order for you to for Taliesin to go out and find
Um,
find a mount for you guys to spend the day in town, getting your gear together. It is approaching the evening of the second day since you've been out. You're about into the third week of the month. The 10 day is coming up close.
I want to say bye to the adventurers if they're still in town. Just be like, we're heading out again. It was a pleasure meeting you and camping back. Thank you for helping us. Later.
before I leave town, I want to put a giant dick on Hero's face if he's still in town.
It would have been last night when he was there. You guys maybe like had a giant minor illusion prestidigitation giant dick battle. You would have definitely found that in the end, Herda is a surprisingly strong wizard and created more impressive and more increasingly realistic dicks to put on your face. It almost seems like a losing battle. I feel like this guy might just be very well practiced at this particular activity.
It's almost like it might be a specialization. He's the dick wizard.
Yeah, it's just that.
Hawkmancer.
Yes. But so then that would have been last night. As you guys did, like I said, as your day went on, Taliesin went out looking for some of the animals roaming the plains and found a particular camel with some things in its saddlebags. Came back. You guys purchased the carts and got the rest of your gear together. Spent the day, haggling and speaking with the different people. Down the line, showed Coster, you able to sell some of the armor and weapons that you had found out in your adventures. You were able to buy new things from Barthen's Provisions, including the majority of the things you were looking for. Sparkle Gem, I'm gonna have to custom make the ram mount for you. I'll go ahead and get that done for the next session.
Awesome.
But for the time being, you essentially treat it like a mastiff, but instead of the bite, it has a charge and a horn attack. It doesn't have the keen senses that the mastiff has either, but it has some other things they can do, like sure footing and bludgeoning attack you could do with the torrents. It's a little different, but
I am okay with it.
yeah. But
I don't want to ride a giant wiener dog anyways. I
There's
just
some
wanted
other-
to save money.
yeah. Like I said, you found a mount that he happened to get from some other the gnomish knights. I think you might guys actually have bumped into them on the Triboar Trail at some point or another. They came back through.
we
They
saw
came back through
some of
Phandalin. Yeah. The rest of your stuff. I don't know if you need to check your gear. Maybe you wanted to get a mess kit, but the last time I remembered, one of the very few people in your party who had any kind of thing to eat, food that they found out of or cook anything with was Taliesin. I'm not sure if
I
anyone else
have a
has
mess kit.
No, I've
You
got
have a
one.
mess kit too. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Quickly
good.
before we leave, I know 3 people said they were getting 2-person tents. Was anybody else getting those?
Who were those 3 people? Because
It was you, me, and Jerk.
okay,
It's also winter, so you guys may want to invest it. I know you guys have picked up a couple like things off of the walls of that tomb to use as blankets, but you could also
I was looking for
Purchase
winter
blankets.
blankets. Well, I was looking for some in the
Blankets.
PHB, and I couldn't find any.
a blanket is 5 silver. Your bed rolls too. If nobody has those, might be something that you're interested in. That's a gold a piece. It's basically a sleeping bag.
Yeah, I'll get a bedroll.
If you don't have one, it's 1 gold. For you though, it's if you're going from Barthen's, he's probably going to give it to you for half, so 5 silver.
oh yeah.
Does he?
Clothing in general.
Yeah, if you guys are going for this one. Oh,
Are there any differences between winter blankets and normal blankets in this game? Or in this
Just a
edition?
blanket. Keep you warm. There really isn't. In here, you have the appropriate one. If you wanted to go for clothes that were warmer, something to wear under or over your armor, as far as like a cloak or something goes, clothing, just 5 silver a piece. If you're going through Mama Bottom, she's probably going to give you anything out of there, so keep that in mind.
How,
So you said
Um,
5 silver pieces for a blanket as well?
No, she'll ask for she won't ask for money, but she will kind of say like, I have these that are intended for other people. They're 5 silver a piece for what I try. But of course I'm gonna give them to you as it stands, so she'll give you winter clothes. But if you want to give her anything, 5 silver per person.
Well,
how,
you said the blankets were 5 silver, right?
Yeah, 4 if you're going through Barthen with jerk buying.
Okay.
Just give me a little discount on top of everything. Even if he hasn't seen you guys in a long time, he remembers all the good you've done for town.
how
Fandolin.
much is a mess kit? I just looked. I don't have one.
Give me 1 second. I'll let you know. I'm adding
2
a
silver.
blanket quick.
2. All right.
2 silver, 1 silver for you.
Perfect. All right. I think I am all geared up for adventure.
Is anybody leaving blankets or anything like that on the cart or no?
I will.
She can add it there so you don't have to add it to your own inventory.
Yeah.
No, it would just like put it on your inventory, and like I said, doesn't make the amount 0, so it doesn't
Yeah, that's
count
what I've
towards
been
your
doing.
thing. But you can kind of like, oh yeah, I do have a blanket. It's on the cart because it doesn't 0 things don't just disappear off your list. So that's what I do in my other game.
I feel like my bear hide armor and my scarf would probably keep me pretty warm. I don't think I need.
Oh yeah, you know your gear is kind of almost ready made
All
for
right. I have a blanket on the card as well.
traveling in the weather. Yeah. Okay, as long as you guys have
Did you hear?
moved those items, a blanket on the card as well.
Mhm.
All right. So you guys are able to go through, have your day. As the sun sets, you feel the kind of epic effects of that incredible meal and that celebration, that hero's feast, kind of fade as the day goes. So your bonus 10 hit points are gone. Your advantage on wisdom saves is out, and all the other effects of the hero's feast are over.
So 0, 10 hit points. Boop.
Yep.
Boop. Okay.
Yeah, and if there isn't anything else, and you guys don't want to know what they have, then you're kind of set up for the evening. Now it is now the evening. I don't know if you're staying in town. What are you doing? Are you heading out now? Gonna go south to the southeast to the
I think-
Willy Cave. Start heading
I
that
think
way.
we should start heading that way.
Yeah, I'll say
I would.
Say wait till morning. Because we're not going
Why?
to before it's dark.
we could travel just fine in the dark. You're the only one who needs light.
Oh, I
Some
am. going.
torches. I hope you guys have torches, right?
Yes, I have torches, which I'm going to transfer some of those from my inventory onto the cart.
I'm gonna
I
hook
will
up.
close my lantern. Don't know where that
I'm, I'm gonna hook up Camilla Anderson to the cart, or to the wagon. And am I driving?
Are you?
I mean, I have the best animal handling out of all of us.
I think that's a good idea.
I would
Probably.
recommend that you drive, yes.
I will try to catch
gonna-
some trees in the back of the cart.
I'm gonna, as I'm driving, you guys see me pull out something out of a little bag on the camel, and I'm just kidding.
Start drinking away.
Yeah, I mean, it has a little bit of a different effect than alcohol, but
My cleric sense is tingling. Someone is doing something unpious.
Sinful.
Unpious. Unpious will be my favorite term that came out the entire session. Unpious. Less than righteous. Like, no one's praying hard enough to their deities today, is how I feel. It's awesome,
I mean, my deity is the deity of the forest.
right? Life energy as it stands. All right, then yeah. I don't know how you guys feel. It's 10:15 at night in our real time, so we could set out as this is your adventuring time. Either you, I haven't heard that settling. I heard a vote for leaving in the morning versus a vote for traveling at night.
I'd rather start traveling now.
Apparently, the term is impious.
I mean, you guys can sleep in the cart while I'm driving.
Right, like I could ride up front with Talus and keep like as an extra set of eyes and scout while all of you take naps in the back.
Well, you better. He's on drugs.
Right?
I didn't actually do that.
What? No, I heard it. You're experiencing a spiritual
So am I
adventure.
tripping
No,
balls right now?
Great. If he
You can't
starts to wig out,
can't
I'm just
say it
like
if you don't
kick him
wanna
off
do
the
it.
cart.
You can't say it if you don't want to do it. I'd hear you, and I hear the thing, and then we know what happens. You tell me what you're doing, and then we know. No, I'm kidding. If you don't do it, then do it. Did you tell anyone else that you found all of the soul walk?
Nope.
Fun.
Impious.
Imbiased sense.
Unbiased.
You're like
So
temps.
biased.
All right, yeah. So it sounds Pubert. It sounds like they want to go tonight.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and crash in the back of the cart if it gets late enough.
Fair enough.
All right, you guys decide to take a late night on it. Oh, also, again, it is 10:17. I don't know if this was good, late. Everybody's cool to keep going. Is this a good time for it?
I mean, I need to like make the bed and vacuum and mop up here, but I could still go for a little bit longer.
I mean, I could.
At least 10 minutes of talking about travel.
Okay. Well, let me run to the restroom then, and then we'll.
Well, the only
We'll
issue
get
with
to
that
the-
is if we encounter something, it could be a 45-minute
Then
travel.
we stop. So until something happens.
All right.
It's a really good stopping point.
Fair enough. Let me
Cliffhanger.
run to the bathroom, and I'll be right back, and we'll find
Wait.
we'll roll some die and see if you guys encounter anything on the way, or if you said goodbye to anyone, or if you wanted to say goodbye to anyone before you leave town. It's still a regular time of night that people would receive your calls at the door and things like that. So I'll be right back.
Well, hell yeah, I'm gonna go see the widow.
Goodbye, hon.
It is what it is.
Taliesin doesn't have shame.
Ah. True neutral means that you do what feels right to you.
Yep.
That's what you said 2 months ago. And now the
Yep.
context is entirely different, but the effect is the same.
This was a very magic dick heavy episode.
Yeah.
Look,
I mean,
I
Blame
can't,
Hiroshi. He started all of it.
look, there's
That's my
nothing I
story,
can
and
do
I'm
until
sticking
level
to it.
5, okay?
He
I feel
used.
like it's
I
part
get a
of
lot of really good things at
the
level 5.
regulation thing. You know, you have to have like 8 hours.
Like,
depending on how late-
Everyone gets a lot of really good things at level 5.
and then you have to have at least one episode that pertains to magical cock. That's
Yep.
just how it works.
I think
Exactly.
the best thing to come out of the episode, besides the impious line, was when you called him a cockmancer.
Yes.
A trigonometrist.
Oh, I forgot that I can turn into like swimming animals now.
Yes, I was going to suggest the next time we have a many-on-one fight that you go with Crocodile, based on a website I looked at,
Yeah.
because it does a really cool grapple with its mouth.
Yes.
If you look up Crocodile, it's really cool.
Well, I might have to do that.
All
think
right.
I-
Anybody?
Well, no.
I think,
think
we're good to travel.
Okay.
It's been a nice 2 hours of shopping.
Well, and
Does that
partying.
really surprise you though?
Partying, your social
It is what it is.
interactions.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
okay.
just funny though.
Yeah, shopping always takes the longest.
So our new wagon with a camel on the front.
And a horse.
Yes, but I'm used to that.
Right? Yeah, with this strange horse that most of you have like no clue about, but
Yeah,
Taliesin has heard about and had enough of an idea and able to just general animal handling in order to
So what are we
coerce it to be a beast of burden for you.
it hasn't tried to eat me yet, so
Kamala Anderson.
I'm
and
okay with
Pony Lee
this.
Jones.
Yeah, what do we name the horse?
Pony Lee Jones.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What?
That's so good.
Oh.
what like the Power Ranger?
No, like the dude that she was married to for a little bit.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones and Pamela Anderson were married for a while. They put out a sex tape, actually.
Did they put it out or was it like
It was leaked.
found?
You know what?
leaked onto
Was
the-
it though?
You
Yeah,
will
I don't even
never,
remember. I'm saying, I'm asking. I don't remember.
you will
Media
never
said it
convince
was
me that
leaked.
any of those are leaked. That is
Yeah,
how
I'll
a
say-
struggling actor revives their career is by banging someone on camera. That's what happens. They put them out themselves and then say they were stolen.
right.
Mm,
I don't want to go any further into this.
Don't worry. It was
So
only
we
a
travel,
thing that happened.
please.
Yeah. So you guys get onto your wagon. You have your horse and strange horse along. Pamela and Tommy Lee.
Yes,
dragging.
they're first. Horse and not horse.
Yes, horse and weird horse
Not
dragging
horse.
the cart.
oh,
Sparkle Gem, did you remember of a thing you?
yes. Did you not hear the counter?
I
thing?
saw it. I saw it. That's up to you. You haven't said anything about it, so if you do that or not, I'm doing now.
I mean, I would like to, but if the party's packing up and going, I'm not
But-
getting left behind.
Flip a coin. But not that one coin.
You could always just
But not
tell them.
that coin.
You could always
Yeah.
tell them,
Well,
hey
that's
guys,
true.
real
I
quick
have been
before you leave
open.
town.
I have been open about the sect I've been with, so I'll just look at the party and be like, hey guys, before we leave, I gotta go check in with some people quick. And be a shady bitch.
I say stab him in the face for me.
Slap in the face for me.
Well, after 3 years, you really think we have any leads on where the cunt went?
Let me
You
open
can't
up
say
my
that on
book.
television.
Let me open up the book and see if you
I
know where
remember
the
that
cunt
being a
went.
show. Sorry if my
Alright,
language
so-
offends.
What you guys don't, what you guys are like half privy to is the fact that Sparkle Gem hasn't checked in with the group that she usually spends the time off
The record.
off record, off camera with this doing.
The
So it's
hand of
kinda-
Yartar.
Yeah,
Right.
the hand.
That actually
This is
Jerk
a
had
tragic
been a part of
backstory
the-
thing.
tragic backstory stuff where Jerk was involved in this group too, and she was thinking about reaching out to her contact before she left town, but she doesn't want to do it if you guys are about to head out and leave. So she's doesn't sound like she wants to take
So
the
it's
time.
pretty
out
much
of the
like
group's
her
time.
way of saying, hey, if you guys don't mind waiting for like a half hour.
What I'm hearing is fact-finding mission when we have very few facts.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like,
And do you trust these people?
these people took me in and taught me everything I know. I have no
And-
reason not to trust the group of them, even if
So-
one of them's spoiled.
So
They-
do
they
you
took-
trust these people?
They took me in and sold me out and left me in prison to rot. What do you think?
Yeah, because you're a fucking male. Leave
Do
them
you
be.
need- so-
They all have their reasons to hate.
Do you need a reason
Yeah.
not to trust these people?
The only reason you all should not trust them is because you're all males. I'm a female. They'll give me all the truth that I need.
Uh,
I'll wait. It's fine.
So Sparkle Jim, are you kind of letting the group in on some
A
of this
little
hand of
bit.
Yartar business that
Yeah,
Jerk's also
just
somewhat in on? He could talk to some extent of it too. You guys could tell the group about this now. Might be a great time.
that's true. We could. So the hand, when I first left my mother, many, many moons ago, the hand found me as a begging urchin, just trying to, like, I could barely find the coin to feed myself day by day. They opened their homes to me, took me in, and taught me how to play the instruments I play, how to entertain the way I entertain, so that way I could have a means of survival for myself. That being
Well,
said,
some shadier skills.
yeah, there are some shadier skills, but I mean, just look at my character. That speaks volume. But then, along our adventures, we found the Red Devil over there, and she's just going to kind of like point her thumb over at Jerk. And he joined our group for a while and was fed and clothed while he was with us. Then one night, there was a plan to obtain a magical item, and something went wrong, horribly wrong, because had it gone right, Jerk would have been rotting in a cell, according to my mentor. Because he was to be used as a pawn. But instead, I woke up in a sack a week later.
Things went off plan.
And had Jerk been in that cell, we all know I would have gone and gotten him out one way or another. Because he may have been the group's patsy, but he was my friend.
And then we would have just had the Elder Scrolls opening.
Yep.
So I thought he was captured
Yeah,
and you
I
went
was-
back for him, and it was breaking him out that got you.
Was that what
put
it
to
was?
sleep.
Yeah, you
I know
got.
there was a couple different, we played 3 different stories
Yeah,
because
we tied them
before
around
the
a bit.
session started.
Yeah, you got slept. You got a magic spell put on you or something while we were breaking out. You've been in my sack.
It was a magical sleep.
Yeah.
Jerk didn't do anything as drastic as like slapping or hurting her to wake her up, so she just kept magically sleeping
Yep.
She
until
needed, she
eventually
needed her
the voice wore
rest.
off. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to have
But-
met you both.
Yeah, they sold me out though. They found me and I guess they fed and clothed me, but I also did jobs for them. So it's not like I didn't earn my keep. And then they set me up to take the fall. They alerted.
He's the patsy.
Yeah,
That's all it was. You were just supposed to take the heat for our misdeeds.
yeah. If they would have let me in on it, I could have gotten out too, though. So instead of like
I know,
Whatever.
and that's not their
whatever,
way.
whatever, I'm gonna kill that bitch soon.
You can kill that bitch. That's fine. You can kill
Sounds-
that one bitch, but it doesn't mean that the group doesn't have
Wait.
information that we can use to our benefit, regardless of that one bitch.
That one bitch was she took us both in.
Yeah, she was
So
our
she
mother
she
figure.
she trained us
in
both
Soul's
up.
absence.
Why don't they like men?
Because
I
they
don't know.
They believe men are the oppressors of us. How many women adventurers do you see? How many women could get by in society on their own? Not
So
many,
the-
because of the way that men
So the-
objectify a lot of us, and it beats our spiritual morale down.
So the
Alright.
Hand of Yartar is basically like they are whether or not this one incident had anything to do with their overall like point of view on things, which is kind of like mixed up, and which is why you're hearing all of this sort of like back and
Yeah.
forth between everybody. But generally, the Hand of Yartar, what you would know is like a group of spies who work across the across the Sword Coast, not just the area that you're looking at like on your map here, but other areas. And they are a pro women organization, and I did try to like put this out there like for you, like in part is like just because you're pro women doesn't mean you're like anti men.
Well, right.
But but this
I'll just mark that
situation.
down as unreliable
Well, they're
narrator.
talking about
Right.
more
So
like
this thing
as
that
a
you hear
group
about
as
with
a
Jerk though
whole.
definitely happened, right? Like so
Yeah.
Jerk was definitely brought in, taught some skills in order to think, but then used as the patsy, and that was very apparent to the both of them.
Right.
Is
And-
it is
And
it
men usually
So-
play the role of patsies because the hand kind of believes that women are, as a woman, it's a lot easier to sneak in and out of social situations of political points
Go on.
as like entertainers, and they lean up against the walls and just overhear and find out what the public isn't supposed to know.
I wish I could deny any of that, but I can't.
They are
So-
very secretive in their ways.
So she's looking to maybe go talk to her contact and see if she can find any more information, but she doesn't want you guys to leave Phandalin without her.
So these people set up Jerk, and you left them because of that.
I left them because I woke up in a sack.
And that was about 3 years ago.
Little longer, yes. But once you're in the sect, you're in it for life. You have no choice.
No, I mean, that was about 3 years ago.
Just as far as your timeline for Godworld goes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
This event is what led up to
Sure.
Jerk and I finding you.
hmm. Wait, and there's one here?
I think she's looking to
There's
in my
associates
hometown?
throughout. There's associates throughout
Hmm.
Panda or throughout the Sword Coast.
Like, I grew up here.
Yeah, and you have an active member here who's been here for a while, from what I understand.
Why? Yep, that kind of fits.
If
Uh,
there's shady business going around, I promise you'll find a representative of the sect.
Well, there was
there.
that entire half of town that I wasn't allowed to go to while I was young.
I mean, you probably. I doubt
Yeah, I didn't think
anyone.
about it.
As you were a child, I doubt anyone would be like, "Hey, kid, you want to find out about this spy organization?" Like, probably
Right.
not a.
I used to
probably
say
not a
that.
thing.
Actually, I used to say that all the time. And Barry would be like, "Yeah."
And then
That's
we'd
awesome.
wake up a couple of days later.
It was an
just
anthill.
dark.
Seems
They
like-
were working to undermine society.
So are you going to go find this person?
I would like to. If
I
any
have
of you would
no-
like to follow me to know who it is, you're more than welcome to. You just have to stay in the shadows because if the second she sees you,
I cannot do
we
that.
do not speak.
I will actually trail this time. Should I roll stealth to see if I?
Absolutely. So if you guys aren't going to leave Phandalin so that she has time to make contact with the other agent, then that's cool. You guys just kind of need to hang in, wait out. If anyone does want to follow her, like I'm hearing from Jerk, then yes, absolutely stealth rolls because we're gonna need to know.
If she sees you, because
Are
if
you
she sees
staying
you,
back? Does she see you? Whatever.
yeah.
Or you could just let her go too, and that's the other option, and then like wait for whatever she comes back to tell you. She is also now just telling you a bunch of this information and sharing this with you. Whereas I don't think Jerk had said anything about this up to this point.
No.
Now was
Yeah.
our master Ephred?
Yes, Ephred, the rare race that most have not encountered.
Alfred, for sure.
Yeah, because she was a certain type of genasi.
Alright,
That's
I
why she
just-
took interest in Spark so much, is because of that unnatural ability to have their own natural magic.
Yeah, I'm
Very-
convinced that this is a decent idea, and I'm willing to put a spell slot towards it if you want a buff for this.
Yeah.
For what?
What?
Him sneaking?
Either of you, honestly.
Oh, I don't have to.
Well, wait.
Right there,
Wait.
throw out there. Guidance is a. I
No,
don't know if
not
it's
that.
guidance. Okay.
You guys, you. All right, so Taliesin is going to. I mean, he's been like sitting up there, like waiting to go, while you guys are discussing this. So he's going to
learned a
turn
lot.
around. He's going to turn around and say, "Why don't you guys go, Jerk? If you want to find out some more." And he just kind of flicks his wrist towards him and casts Pass Without Trace on Jerk. And he will also. He's gonna pull out a pipe. This is for flavor, so he's gonna pull out a pipe and light it with his fingers using the cantrip, and then
Very
also,
Amazed with that, by the way.
and then he's going.
Watching a magician.
He's going to take a log drag off of it, and then as he blows out the smoke, he's going to pull out the ornate golden dagger and toss it over to Jerk and say, "Here, maybe this will bring you some luck."
A shinier dagger.
Awesome. I say thank you for both the incantation and the trinkets. They will both serve me well tonight.
If you fail a stealth roll with +10 stealth, that is your fault.
That's true. It does last up to an hour.
Yeah.
So your
So,
stealth 5
stealth-
plus 10 is 15 plus your stealth of what,
plus your stealth
11?
modifier.
25. That's
No, it's-
25
That's
total.
that's his sleight of hand.
I was going
will
to
take you
give.
out. His,
Okay.
his stealth modifier is
Plus 5.
double proficiency though, so it's plus 8 on Jerk's stealth. So it's 5 plus 8 plus 10.
Okay, yeah, so I was wrong. It's
So
what,
23.
Yeah. So with the spell cast from Taliesin and your natural sneaking abilities, your strange ability to red man to blend into shadows. He's just so used to being a street urchin that he just knows how to make no one look at him as if he's a pathetic, sad, poor individual who
Not
people
too
pity
far
and
off.
don't want to look at because they're sad that they're not giving him money and they move down the street quickly. You're quite well hidden as
But
Spurgeon goes. Is anyone else going
Am
with
I
this?
am I as
well?
well hidden as I can be? Should I use my inspiration?
Obviously, you should use your inspiration. It's the end of the night. You rolled a
Yeah.
5. Like,
Do it. Do it. Roll it
come
again.
on with the shadow.
It's the exact same thing.
Oh, that's rough.
Okay,
that's
so
rough.
it's still very, very hidden.
You're still well hidden. You're still well hidden. But you feel like maybe somewhere in there, had Timora, the luck god, blessed you, that you would have been even better hidden. But it's fine because you know you're doing a great job. Sparkle Gem, you're able to basically wait on into the evening, past hours, so nobody's going to leave Phandalin tonight. They're planning on basically leaving in the morning.
Or
Um,
midnight.
Yeah, you wait for night and the sun to set and to fall, and you make your way out from the old Piter Bottom home, cloaked and moving towards the Lion Shield Coster. Jerk following you as well. As you approach the back of the building, he is. Let's see. Let's get Phandalin up here. So as you guys approach the Lion Shield Coster right across the way, you actually move significantly kind of around through town in order to cover your tracks and come to the back of the
Yeah.
building as Jerk follows you as well, while hidden, keeping a line of sight behind some of the other buildings. You approach the Lion Shield Coster, and you give that knock that you need to give outside the door, and the proprietor, Lion
Yeah.
Shield Coster, comes outside and meets you. The sun's been set for some time. It's probably like close to 11 p.m. at night.
All right.
And she comes outside, cloaked as well, kind of grasping, turning herself towards the building, and you kind of like meet her shoulder to shoulder, and she's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna try and meet me and talk inside Stonehill Inn, where we had an opportunity, to chat with everyone around. I didn't think you'd wait till tonight.
Well, sister,
But,
it'd be
I'm glad
risky to like. Yeah, Sparks just gonna look at her and be like, sister, it would have been too risky with all those years nearby. There's been too much to happen over the past 3 years for us to openly discuss.
She kind of throws a few phrases your ways and way in thieves can't like, well, we could have had our own conversation without anyone understanding, but I'm really just glad to see that you're safe. She kind of stops the thieves can't to say that last part. Like, I'm just glad to see that you're safe. Yeah, everything happened. She's like, I've been kind of gathering bits and pieces from people in town that they've been talking, but how are you? What's happened? Are you okay? And she wants to kind of hear
We have
your version of events.
We were absolutely fine. Unfortunately, we took a little adventure that took a lot longer than we thought. It seems like
Yeah.
just yesterday we were here, and in our minds it was yesterday.
Yeah, 3 years is a long time to go missing. Doesn't happen to everybody. Though there are stories of things like this, but I don't think I've ever met anyone who's stepped through a portal and stepped out 3 years later. So
Well, here I stand before you.
it's a pretty
But
incredible story.
what has become of the realm over the past 3 years? Who I know the dragon cult is obviously active. Have we found out who's leading the cult at all?
All right, she's basically able to tell you the majority of the information that you've heard from everyone else. So the things that you've
Okay.
heard from the Lord's Alliance, she's able to kind of like tell you those stories back. The things that you've heard from the Harpers as well, she's able to just kind of like recite that information to you.
Okay.
And two other pieces of information that would be kind of like interesting to you. The first is kind of what the Hand of Yartar has been up to in the last few years. In addition to the other information that been going on.
I would say I would also want to inquire where Alfred would have wandered off to. Last known whereabouts and all that.
Okay. So she is to be able to tell you a bit about the Keepers of the Horde. They have that information about his name, Hamoncost, as the Necromancer, and the Hand had actually been keeping track of him as he moved into the Sword's coast. They remind you about the land that he is from, and these wizards who tattoo their spells onto their skin rather than keeping spell books. And so that it seems that his alliance has gone from being one of the very self-centered to one he seems to be making deals with the Keepers of the Horde. As far as the other information, in the last 3 years, they've actually found out quite a bit about Elfried and that event. Essentially, there was an item called the Orb of Destruction that Elfried was assigned to steal from Neverwinter with your help. She was assigned to steal it from Neverwinter, and she, given rein to train others to help her take it. But as they've found out, Elfried has actually gone rogue. She has left the Hand of Yartar. She went to Tribor to meet up with the group after the failed heist and started demanding that the group go back to attempt to capture the Orb of Destruction that they hadn't captured that time. Elfried wanted them to go back and to attempt to take it again. They considered the initial failure enough that they weren't going to go back to it. And through that, in the years past, where she attempted to steal it again, it seems that the orb of destruction, she's seeking it in order to remove a curse from someone. And so they haven't found out too much other than that, other than the fact that the orb of destruction is able to eradicate anything from history, including the existence of a curse or a disease or a person, and that Elfried's been on her own now. Elfried, known as Elfried Ravenfast, and they've been able to make the assumption that Elfried seeks to free herself from this curse that she's likely holding. And in this effort, she had found and trained two people, Sparklegem and Jerk, in her ways, and in order to attempt to pull off this heist. And then when the heist went wrong, she sacrificed Jerk to get herself and Sparklebottom out before they were captured. She's last been seen attempting to capture this artifact from Neverwinter, but failing. And they suspect that she is still there. She seems hellbent on finding it. It's quite a bit they've been able to kind of gather over the period of time that you guys have been gone, but it's kind of, they never thought that you would be back in order for them to tell.
Yeah, well, grudges keep even the worst of luck people moving through this life.
Yeah. She could also generally tell you about some of the other things in the area that the Handy Artar has, noticed the events near the old ruins of Thunder Tree. They're aware of the Keepers of the Horde. They know that the Keepers have been employing orcs and goblins in the area to rob people and keep themselves in gear and food and everything else that they need. They're doing it, and that it seems that the Keepers of the Horde have also been secretly dealing with the Zhentarim in order to keep communication going in and out. But outside of that, the Hand of Yartar and the Lord's Alliance have been unable to keep track of a lot of things that have been going on, and really keeping these words. But the Hand of Yartar is aware that the Emerald Enclave, a group of druids, is sending a agent, the same druid that they've had looking over the ruins of Thunder Tree for many years, out to gather more information. So the Ember Enclave may actually have more information soon. They kind of caught word of that through some other agents. And there were the Haman costs and etc. Yeah.
All right. And then while I'm here, I'm also going to pull, after we've discussed this, I'm going to pull my Charm Person scroll out and offer it to her gesture and say something along the lines of, I remember you inquiring if we were able to get our hands on items such as this.
And, she basically offers and gestures. She's like, well, it's like, we'll gladly take this. I can only offer you for the scroll of Charm Person.
Yes.
I can offer you 100 gold. In exchange for this can come in very useful for us, and surprised you aren't keeping it for yourself. Or how useful this could be, but could certainly also offer you in return she's got stuff.
Sweet. I have 100 gold added in before I put it in my whatchamacallit, jar of water. Weird. I'm going
Right.
to exchange currency so I don't have to pull anything out.
She has a couple potions that she can offer.
Healing pots, poison, puking.
There are the variety of things. Actually, roll me 2d6.
2d6. Do. 6 and 2.
6 and 2. So she pulls out a few vials from her thing. She's like, I can offer you 100 gold, or I can offer you one of these potions in exchange. She's like, I have Cowboy Tears and the Gallows Jig. And she'll let you know that the Cowboy's Tears potion will gain you. And she explains in less technical terms that the Cowboy's Tears is a +1 insight for an hour, and the Gallows Jig is actually really,
Just because I spent close to that today. But if anybody else in the party would want one of these potions, now would be the time for you to speak up.
I totally
Mm.
missed what
None of us are with you.
yeah, none of them are with you.
Well, right,
There's no
I
one
know,
here.
but like this is
A potion that can
far
keep
out
you
of the
alive
party.
That's a
Yeah, they
bit
wouldn't-
meta.
That is
Nah,
a
they
big
wouldn't know
meta.
you. They
I'm-
wouldn't know you. They wouldn't know. You have
Think
have this
about-
option. The
think about the
Cowboys
heroes you
Tears
went through
or
in the
Gallows Jig.
Can I make an Arcana check to see what the value of each of those potions is, like currency to?
You could, but you would understand it for the rarity of the various items that you're exchanging. That there's not really like necessarily a market, but it's pretty fair for what's being
Okay.
offered. Like
I'll go
Like,
ahead and take the
potions, but essentially there aren't just like neighborhood alchemists making potions a lot of times,
Right.
especially in like today's day and age. There are things that people find and then maybe like disseminate. Or there are other things like healing potions where that's not the case, but
I'll go ahead and take the gallows jig.
No, I missed what the gallows
Okay.
jig was because my computer just like
It
putzed out
makes
for a
it
second.
so if you were to fall to 0 instead, or if you were to fall to 0 HP, instead you fall to 1 HP.
from damage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
May not apply to effects that simply knock you straight unconscious.
Right, but if what I'm thinking is if I see
you might
a
still be unconscious,
teammate-
but you would be
Right,
dropped to
I
1
see-
HP instead of 0. So instead of death saving throws, you're unconscious with 1 HP. That's a lot better still.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is I would be able to pour it into someone's mouth and stabilize them without them dying.
Would that work?
It
As
would
it is
work
on
as
the
well as it would work as well as a healing potion.
Yeah.
You could use it like 1 HP. You could also use it as a reckless.
I mean, speaking as someone who
Attack.
usually stacks up as many fairies as possible in Legend of Zelda games,
All the fairies. But yeah, I'll take the gallows jig.
Yeah, she trades you for your scroll of charm person for the potion of the gallows jig, and I'll add that to your thing.
Thank
What's that?
you.
2 things I got to do now? Gallows jig and
I already took the charm person off.
And Taliesin gave me that dagger too. I'm not quite sure what to put in for that.
what do you have? Fine dagger currently?
Yeah.
gilded dagger.
I was gonna say whatever you have now, and then I think his was ornate. I think yours was a fine dagger
Yeah, I
before.
have a fine. So just add an
I mean-
ornate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What did
also
we-
blessed, but I don't know if it did anything.
Okay.
I guess you'd have to see if it if it actually attunes or something. I don't know how that.
Blessed items, I think it's just like a passive magic, kind of like my winds or my pipes of whatever.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know how Jared wants to make that work.
Right. Yeah. She did the blessing in hopes that
helped you.
Tymora will.
I don't know if
will
like
bless
he
you
has it.
guys, Yeah.
If he like has it for a while, if like, oh, all of a sudden you're attuned and it happens or something, or if it didn't actually do anything. I don't know.
So does it have
If not, it's still a pretty ass
Yeah.
dagger.
Yeah, yeah. Does it have the same
Right.
stats as a regular dagger?
Yes. So you just would add dagger and then do
Change
a-
the name.
Yeah, or add the other piece. I could do it.
Or just type
More appropriately.
blessed be.
Okay,
typed
I'll
it,
let you
so
do
that
it
way
then.
he could fix it later.
I'll
All right,
just
so I'm gonna add the gallows jig, an ornate dagger. I have to add a no. Camel is actually a thing, so you could literally put that in your inventory.
Under mounts
but
and
that-
extra.
Yeah, but now it's on the cart technically, so remember to like add it in your sheet and then go 0.
Yeah. Wait, 0.
Right, if you're like Taliesin would be the one who like added the camel and then went 0. Whoever bought the horse would probably add it and then go 0. That way, like you guys know you bought a horse that's in your inventory, even though there's 0 in your inventory, you know it exists back at the thing. And if I remember correctly, so far the gallows jig potion and the ornate dagger, are the only 2 things that I've got to go like put on sheets are correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to scan through this to make sure that there's no information that the Hand of Yartar would have given you that we didn't see from anyone else. And they're also able to report that they find it, they find it extremely odd that the Lord's Alliance hasn't made a move to remove the dragon, from there. So they also find that extremely strange and would like more information about it if you can find any. The Hand of Yartar, though, with Glassstaff gone missing and your guys' reports of the Black Spider,
Yeah.
they're definitely one of the groups who haven't forgotten about him.
I would say any leads on him, any leads on the Black Spider. I'm just now remembering all this because it's been so long since we were last in
Yeah.
Phandalin.
Yeah, so
I gotta look at my notes too quick. Hold up. Or go on, but
the majority of people like the Lord's Alliance and others have kind of assumed that the Black Spider has like either moved on or died along with your party disappearing, but they always kind of held out on the idea that in actuality he is still in the area and operating more in the shadows, so they don't trust that he's gone. They believe he's around. The Hand also knows of the Zentrim having more agents in the areas. They're aware of pretty much everything that the Harpers are aware of. So hearing about the not Old Owl, well, the Thunder Tree, the ruins of Thunder Tree, and the items with the dragon and the necromancer there, knowing his name. They've kind of picked up that information from the Harpers as well. Like I said, they have information. They believe that someone in the Zentrum is working with the Keepers of the Horde.
what about anything relating to the mine of Phandelver? The magical mine up to the north, if I'm remembering correctly.
Do we know?
You guys do not know anything related to the mine of Phandelver.
Well, so what the Hand of Yartar would know was essentially that with the rumors in the area, it would have become. They believed it would become very public knowledge about the location of the mine and, and where the Lord's Alliance would be moving their troops, but not hearing anything about the Lord's Alliance moving troops to anywhere. They don't know of like where in particular that the mine is, though the spies have attempted to get into the miners' exchange to find that information. They have not been able to. So the Hand of Yartar is willing to pay for the location of the lost mine of Fandelver because it seems like it should have, like this, like a year or so ago, it should have been essentially public information, but hasn't been exposed anywhere. So they're willing to pay for that location
Okay.
if you know it.
I can't remember if we did find the location for it or not. 'Cause I don't think the mine of Fandelver was.
And then they tell you that the Emerald Enclave is likely on the move with
Yep.
the issues or with the disturbance over at Thunder Tree, and that their agents are probably the ones who might have the most information about what's happening there. So to keep an eye out for anyone sporting any sign that they work with the Emerald Enclave.
And then, do they know anything about the last whereabouts for the Black Widow or Glassstaff or anything like that? Or did you say no? I totally spaced.
No, they're just the group that didn't believe that they went missing. So
They're
they
looking
think,
for info.
yeah, they would think from everything that you've reported to them in the past that there is a strong inclination that the Black Spider is still operating near or within the actual lost mine itself, considering how it did not become public information.
Gotcha. All right, I think that's everything.
Yeah, so like I said, she was able to trade for those potions that she had. Trade her for that. You've got that gallows jig in the inventory then. And then you're able to come back to the party wherever everybody's staying tonight. And if you like, tell them about this. Also, Jerk, you did an incredible job hiding in the shadows, and you were able to hear that information about Elfried. And that it seems that this agent has gone rogue, and she has been seen in Neverwinter attempting to steal this same item that she had failed to steal before.
That's exciting news.
So at least she's still a flop. Yeah, with that, I guess we would just meet back up with the party and head out.
All right. Well, it's 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
You guys have
should probably end it there.
it on, the night's in. You guys could just basically call this, and then we wake up in the morning the next day and head out.
Absolutely. Sounds like a
Sounds
good
like a
plan.
plan.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Good night, Internet.
And then on the good night, internet.
Good night.
Bye.